It's Christmas, and to celebrate, the NFL cooked up some zingers for our viewing pleasure. The playoff picture is all but set, but home field advantage is still hotly contested in both conferences. Plus, we react to the Pro Bowl rosters that were just released earlier today. All that and more right here on Coast Knows Ball.
You indeed.
Man, those Pro Bowl rosters are smelly, aren't they? They need to just, honestly, let's just make an abolishment to the Pro Bowl and just have the Coast Knows Ball and the
nominations. Yep.
Yeah, we'll just make our nominations, and whichever players get the most votes. Honestly, I think that's the best way. I think that's what will get the right Pro Bowlers in, because what they gave us is an injury-filled roster.
Yeah, injury-filled and just completely undeserving. Jacob, you and I did a much better job when we did our Pro Bowl segment. And Vitor, you weren't there, but what we did was we each got 3 nominations, of course, and we split it between conferences, so you had to pick 3 AFC, 3 NFC, but we got 3 picks each and 1 veto
and then 1 veto
if we wanted to use it. And it ended up working pretty good. We only had to use a few vetoes anyway, but the few vetoes that we did,
a lot of consensus stuff.
Yeah, and yet some of the consensus people aren't here on the roster, so I don't know what the rest of the NFL world was thinking with this, but we are smarter than you.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely are.
We had to say at some point.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, you miserable inferior losers.
Chris Jones voters.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But welcome to Coast Knows Ball. It is our Christmas episode. If I have time, we'll have a nice little Christmas banners around our people, around our cameras this week. But yeah, it should be a fun episode. We'll react to the Pro Bowl rosters, and that might as well be the first thing we do is react to the Pro Bowl rosters, because we already talked about it, and it's breaking news. Basically, it happened earlier today.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Yeah. And look, there's not that many surprises really when you really come down to it. Obviously, there are players that we think were really snubbed and players that should have deserved it, and obviously other slam dunk picks. But if you really think about like who the voters are going to pick, this is pretty much what I expected, really, for the most part. And so I'm just going to run through the list, and maybe we can go, if we want, we can go position by position, if that's what you guys prefer. And I'll list the players, and then we'll just talk about what we think. Maybe we'll give each a snubbed player that maybe they weren't snubbed necessarily, but it would have been nice to see them get a Pro Bowl vote, or something like that.
Right, like we're rooting for them to get a vote.
Right, yeah, exactly. So we'll start with quarterback, and on the AFC side, of course, Josh Allen was nominated, and Justin Herbert, as well as Drake May.
Drake May.
Yeah, that's the AFC side. And then for the NFC side, we have Matthew Stafford, and then we have Sam Darnold and Dak Prescott. So how do we feel about that? Those are the top 6 quarterbacks, basically, according to NFL voters.
I actually don't really have any issues with it as far as vote getters gets. Obviously, I don't really feel like Bo Nix is the most deserving, but because he's the one that got votes, right? I'm not misreading that. Oh no, it's Herbert. No, they got it right. They got them all right.
Allen Herbert.
Those are the right QBs.
I'm pretty sure they matched ours, except for we might have not had Herbert on there.
I don't remember if we either went Herbert or Mahomes, because that was before Mahomes really like fell off and he was still like super hard carrying the team. Okay, so it must have been Herbert then, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
those look
who
good.
else would it be? Like Trevor Lawrence hadn't taken off
AFC
yet.
Side.
CJ Stroud was bad still at that point. Yeah, it would have been Herbert, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been Herbert. Honestly, I have no issues with those.
No,
yeah, I don't either.
6 of those are accurate.
What about like who would be the 7th guy for us? Like if you could put someone
Jared
else.
Goff.
Really?
Yeah.
The Goff. Probably Caleb, man. I'll have Caleb above him right now.
That's fair.
I think at this moment in time, I think Caleb was a really good choice. But right now, why not Trevor Lawrence? I mean, it's kind of crazy because the second, and I've been a big Trevor Lawrence defender on the show. For anyone that's been around for a while, you know this, and we've obviously had that
I honestly
debate.
might have put him in.
No, I don't think so because we did the vote right before like this crazy run that they were on, so he was still like
Could have
super
sworn we
mid.
did.
Maybe I don't really remember, but it was either him or Herbert. And yeah, you're right. You did veto Mahomes. But my point is that like I've been a big Lawrence defender, and you guys both know that. And of course, Vitor has been on the opposite end for a lot of the
I've
Lawrence
been in the middle.
discourse. And so but finally, after that losing 3 games out of 4, almost losing 4, with that Raiders game in between there during that skid after the Monday night win against the Chiefs, I'm like, man, it's time to pull the plug. Like Liam Cohen can't figure him out. Like I can't believe this is so stupid. We had them in S tier after they beat the Chiefs, and then they just completely shat the bed right after. Like, what is this jinx going on? And as soon as I said that, they go on this massive, crazy 6-game win streak, and Lawrence is playing by far the best ball.
7 weeks to finally move them up the tier list. We were so low on them on the come up.
Yeah, it was hard to trust them the second time around because they had burned us before.
They're like, this is phony. They've been playing bad teams. This is phony.
They had burned us before, or just a few weeks ago.
They beat the Broncos by 10.
Yeah. Now, of course, we will 100% call them legit, and we wanted to call them legit. We called them legit earlier, and they burned us. That's the only reason why we were so slow to do it again. But that was pretty funny.
Shame on me. Fool me twice. Shame on you. Fool me a third time.
Well, fucking that's divine intervention.
Me, yeah,
right there.
I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so quarterback they definitely got right. Here are the running backs. We got Devon Achane, we got James Cook and Jonathan Taylor for the AFC side. And then for the NFC side, we have Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, and Bijan Robinson.
I think it's pretty obvious as well.
Nah, fuck Bijan. He has too many fumbles to be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he's had a lot of fumbles recently.
Who else would it be?
So. I'm actually surprised, though. I'm surprised it ended up being Bijan. He's probably the Falcons' only representative. Maybe. I'm not too sure about that, actually. But
Kyle Pitts might have got enough votes.
Let's see. Tight end was Trey McBride and Kittle. I'm looking at receiver. No, Drake London didn't get in a receiver. Maybe they got a defensive player out in there, but he might have been their only representative, and that's why. But I'm kind of surprised Saquon Barkley didn't somehow weasel his way into this because of how militant Eagles fans have been about saying that he's actually still really, really excellent, even though he hasn't been this year.
He hasn't been. Yeah.
So maybe that's a surprise. It's not a snub by any means. I'd rather have Bijan there.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Saquon and Myles Garrett have equal odds to win MVP.
Really? What? No shit. Wow.
Yeah, on betting sites, Myles Garrett and Saquon have equal odds to win MVP because that's historical great season as a defensive player is equal to having the 16th best running back season.
Yeah, but that's something. It's pretty wild.
When I say 16th best running back season, I mean he's 16th this year as a running back, not 16th all time.
Right. Yeah. No, we got that. We clocked it. Yeah. I guess
just had to emphasize how stupid the Saquon logic is.
Right. I think maybe as far as snubs are concerned for the running back spot, well, I think the biggest one to me is looking at Travis Etienne. Again, like who would you replace on this list is the big issue. And I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying like if there's a worthy 7th guy, especially recently, it's going to be Travis Etienne Jr., I think.
Also, I will say out of the NFC side, I disagree with Bijan in there, and the reason why is because I have Gibbs, McCaffrey, and Kyren Williams above him. So I do have names to back it up. It's not just that I'm hating on Bijan. I just have 3 names above him.
Yeah, Kyren's had a good year. He has been splitting more with
much
Blake
more touchdowns if it wasn't for the Devontae Adams bullshit.
Yeah, and well, he's also been splitting time with Blake Corum a little bit more often too.
He's also been playing his ass off.
I think honestly, out of the NFC side, you're looking at Rico Dowdle as well, and again, I
think we did give him a vote.
I don't remember if we did. We definitely considered it though, for sure. Javonte Williams, I think we gave a vote actually over Dowdle. at the
That makes
time.
sense. Yes, because he has a lot more touchdowns. That's right.
Yeah, he was more
So there's
productive
5
overall.
names that I would have above Bijan. I don't even need to explain myself. That's a bad pick, Pro Bowl roster. Another one you got wrong.
Again, it's probably
Again.
because it might be that that's the only Falcons player on here and they need to have a player. But we'll see as we go through it. Fullback Kyle Juszczyk and
You don't have to have a player. The Bears didn't have a player last year.
really, I thought the NFL had that mandate. Maybe it's
Nope,
only
that's
MLB.
only MLB.
Okay.
Yeah, because last year the Bears and Colts both did not have a single Pro Bowler.
Okay. Patrick Ricard and Kyle Juszczyk, no surprise there for the fullback position. Kyle Juszczyk, this is his 10th straight Pro Bowl nod, so that's pretty cool. So he's the most, obviously, gotten the most Pro Bowls out of any fullback in history.
Does he have the longest stretch of being the best player at his position in the NFL now that Tom Brady's retired?
Yeah, probably, right? Probably. It
Yeah,
definitely
I
seems
think it
like it.
has to be.
Um,
Ooh.
yeah, that was a fun chance at the game. He only got the ball one time, but when it
Juice.
happened, it really like you hear everyone say it. It's a lot of fun, and it's really fun to see, of course, the when you're on the road that is still embraced.
Dude,
Niner
one of the
fans travel.
coolest things, Deuce Vaughn, the supremely undersized running back out of K-State that was drafted by the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He every time that he got a carry at K-State, the whole stadium would yell Deuce. It was so cool. He
Yeah,
had aura on campus.
that's always fun when and it's not even always the best player, right? It's just a solid player, a player that's a fan
Charismatic
favorite
player,
that
yeah.
yeah,
The guy
and
who just jukes people out of their jock straps, gets the people going.
yeah, exactly. And when it comes to Kyle Juszczyk, it's that Harvard degree, I guess, that people are
Yeah.
fawning over.
I mean, I guess if you have a Harvard degree, you got a personality because him and Fitzmagic are some of the 2 best personalities the NFL has seen.
Yeah. God forbid a white man have motion, right?
Right.
Anyway, here at wide receiver for the NFC side, we got Puka Nakua, Jackson Smith and Jigba, George Pickens, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then for the wide receiver spot in the AFC side, we have Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, and Cortland Sutton.
How many receivers are the Steelers going to trade away for a 3rd-round pick that are just like the best receiver in the NFL?
It feels
Because it's
like they
happened
should do it more
twice, which is
often.
weird.
They should do it more often, honestly. They don't deserve their receivers. Maybe they'll do it again with
Agreed.
DK Metcalf after that little spat that got him suspended
Yeah.
for the rest of the regular season.
Yeah.
That is pretty wild,
I mean,
man.
And especially because he fully lied about the incident too. Like there's a long recording leading up to it where there was no interaction. He was fully just doing this based off of hatred from last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
It's so unhinged.
it's not like he was standing there and then the fan incidentally came in and was harassing him. He sought out the fan like 30 yards away or
He
whatever.
saw the blue hair and said, "I need to go harass
exactly. Yeah, pretty wild stuff. DK, you're a talented player. You've got to figure it out,
this guy."
man.
Supremely stupid.
Holy shit. But how do we feel about these receiver Pro Bowl votes? Any snubs? I feel like there are actually a couple snubs, especially
There's
on
a
the
couple
AFC
of
side.
couple of
The
snubs
NFC
on
side I don't have
AFC.
any issues with. I didn't hear the AFC side too well,
So-
other than Zay Flowers.
So it's Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, and Cortland Sutton for the AFC side.
Yeah, Zay Flowers just
None
has
of
no
those
business
guys
being
are
there.
deserving. Jamar Chase has been injured, hasn't he? Maybe Jamar Chase is deserving, but Nico
mean,
definitely isn't.
He might have missed a game or two. He was suspended for one game, I know that, but he's been
That's
highly
right.
productive. Nico Collins is obviously a beast and has been a beast for the past 2 years, and then Cortland Sutton's also been very good. But Zay Flowers is a really strange choice, really strange. But I will say at the same time, I think the NFC is more loaded at receiver. I think there are, like you say, there are no snubs, and maybe that's true because the 4 that they picked are really
The
fantastic,
4 that they
tremendous
picked are
players.
just deserving. That's why I don't have
Right.
any issues with
But
it.
the NFC side is objectively more
Chris
loaded
Olave
at the
was
position.
banging this season. He
I
could
mean,
have got a vote.
Chris Olave, Devontae Adams isn't on there. He leads the position in touchdowns, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but there's a lot of 1-yarders on that.
No, I get that, but I mean, what do the fans value? You know, those kinds of production. At least I thought. You know, Drake London,
I
like I
think they're
said,
able to
although he missed
see the
time.
difference in. I also think that people are just so negligent to Devonte Adams, and they have been for his entire career. The guy has been supremely underrated since his inception.
Yeah,
He's
maybe you're
been the
right.
best receiver in the league from 2019 to 2023 and got zero credit during that time.
You might actually be right
There's
about
always
that.
the like, oh, look at Cooper Cup. Oh, Justin Jefferson. It's like,
Yeah.
no, Devonte Adams is literally right there doing more every
Yeah.
year.
Yep. Luckily, I was on that train the whole time. But
Trevor was too. Trevor was glazing Devonte Adams in 2019. He was like, 2019 Devonte Adams is better than Michael Thomas. I'm like, fuck off.
yeah. But yeah, so I like maybe a Colts receiver deserves to go in over Zay Flowers. You know, maybe Diggs if you think he's had enough time. But like that's kind of the problem. Like there are definitely really deserving receivers over Zay Flowers, but the AFC is just not very crowded at receiver, really, as far as production.
No.
I mean, T.
The
Higgins would be
NFC is
another one, but
definitely taken
they're not going
over
to
as
put
the more
two.
powerful conference, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, at least as far as the true, like, you know, the AFC's had the behemoth Chiefs for half a decade now, and so it's really hard to harbor a ton of competition outside of that. And so now the first year that they aren't in the picture, it feels like there's a vacuum or a void that hasn't quite been filled yet. And maybe that happens in the playoffs, and we see that void filled. But we'll see. I don't know.
Vild Floyd.
Yeah, Vild
Build
void.
void. Build void.
Vild void. But okay, tight end, we got Brock Bowers and Travis Kelce for the
And who?
AFC side. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah,
Uh,
you heard that right.
and then for the NFC side, we have Trey McBride and surprisingly George Kittle. And I made the case for George when we did the vote, and for me it was just about he missed 5 weeks, but I think he's 100% deserving. I mean, this guy is a complete offense elevator when he's on the field, and just unbelievably productive when he's on the field too. You know, he's really made up for his lost time in a big way over the last 6 weeks.
I'm low key pissed that Harold Fannin didn't get in over Kelsey.
There are a number of guys that I feel like, we had the debate on our Pro Bowl vote over Gadsden versus Fannin, and I vetoed one of them, so you were able to get one, the one that you really wanted. But I think both of them would have been like Brenton Strange, if he didn't miss time, I feel like has had a really good year. Hunter Henry's a touchdown machine. Like he's always deserving of being like in that alternate spot. I mean, hell, Dalton Kincaid has had a pretty good year, after being called a bust in the offseason and everything. It's like, I just I don't get the Kelce pick. I really don't understand it. It's crazy. And again, it's a popularity contest. That's really what it comes down to, but it's just frustrating,
Oh yeah, big time.
Fun fact though, I don't know if you guys noticed, I guess it's more of an observation than anything, but all 4 tight ends in the Pro Bowl are from the West divisions. So 2 from the AFC West and 2 from the NFC West. That's pretty interesting.
That. Pretty banging.
Yeah, I guess so.
Except for the Kelsey pick.
Yeah. Next up, the offensive tackles. For the NFC side, we have Penei Sewell, Tristan Wirfs, and Trent Williams. And then for the AFC side, we have Joe Alt, Garrett Bowles, and Deion Dawkins. Joe Alt, man.
Joe Alt is unbelievable.
I can't believe that, man. Yeah,
Trent Williams. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, 100%.
What's wrong with Trent?
Dude got cooked last week. Or the week against the Titans. He got cooked against the Titans.
What are you talking about?
And he gave up hella pressure rate to them. He
had
like his
that was against the
Browns.
That was against the Browns. The Browns, he allowed like 35% pressure rate. Yeah. I mean, he was playing against Myles Garrett the whole time. Like, it's not that big of a surprise. But no, not against the Titans. Brock Purdy was kept very clean versus the Titans, and of course this week against the Colts. Look, he had one blemish there, and he had a slow start to the season, and so did the whole offensive line as a whole. But man, I tell you, like, as big of a critic as I have been of the 49ers O-line, they have really fucking balled out over the last month and a half since Brock Purdy's returned. I've been very surprised by how well they've been held together as a unit, especially in the pass pro. But
It helps when you
last
have the
night,
right signal caller.
well, sure, yeah, but I mean, they were a dog shit offensive line last season, and the same signal caller. So I don't know,
But they had
but
McGlinchey on their team, didn't they?
not
Or is he
last year.
gone that year?
That
Never
was
mind
like
then.
3 years ago.
That was not 3 years ago. There's no way.
It was either 22 or 23 was McGlinchey's last season with the Niners.
23. There's no way it was 22.
It may have been. Let's see. Football
He's
Reference.
30? That's crazy.
No, yeah, 2022. His final season.
Wow. I'm old.
Yeah, but Colt McKivens
There
has
you are.
been quite fantastic after me being very critical of him, so that's really nice to see. Hopefully have another franchise right tackle there. And Trent Williams at the end of the game as well. He was on with Scott Van Pelt on the post game, and a lot of the fans were chanting one more year to him. And he said that he has a lot left in the tank and he's not done after this year. So that's really exciting to hear as well. Because
that is
you just
definitely good
know
news.
the Niners are not targeting a tackle in the first round this draft. So we really needed him to stick around at least another year.
Who do you think they're targeting in the first round?
Probably a receiver now. They probably are gonna go get
true.
another receiver. Yeah.
There's this guy
you
in
and I
the
both want
market.
Makai Lemon now. Because at this point,
This
I'm
guy in
just
the
over the
market.
quarterback. We're not going to get one. So you and I are just like, okay, who can get Makai Lemon?
Yeah, but yeah, maybe, yeah. What were you saying?
What about that
Vitor?
guy? What about that guy in the market, Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah, yeah. Could have been an attractive option, but he doesn't sound very
Super
interested.
cringe video that he put up, by the way.
What
That is the
you know?
that is the most "you're on my mind" shit of all time.
Yeah. Like that everyone lives in his head rent free. It's honestly embarrassing.
Oh yeah.
And there were a lot of fans when the news first came out about the whole story and everything that were like, well, let's hear his side out. Let's hear his perspective out. Let's not defend the organization immediately. Let's get both sides, get the side from the player. And he has done nothing but destroy the good graces, any ounce of it that he's had from this fan base since then by just complete self-destructive behavior. It is absolutely wild. And, maybe they get a pick swap for him in the offseason if a team is willing to bite, but odds are he gets cut and maybe his career's over because no team even wants to take the risk. It's a big financial risk, clearly, giving this guy money because he might not even show up.
But imagine
that's
how
a little
good the Saints
harsh.
would be if the Saints had Chris Olave, Brandon Ayuk, and Malachi Lemon.
You want him? We'll take him, or you can have him. Just give us a fifth.
I mean, the talent is undeniable. Put him in the
He's
slot
very
with
talented,
Olave
but if he's not going to show up to work, it's not worth the money. It's not worth the investment.
But maybe he's just going to be one of those dipshits who, when he goes to another team, starts to behave, and it's like, okay, but why couldn't you do this in San Francisco?
Oh no, that's exactly what's going to happen if he gets the opportunity.
It's your luck, and that's why I wanted to go to the Saints because it's a guarantee to happen.
But anyway, what? How did we get to Brandon Ayuk?
I brought him up.
Oh, good job, man. Good job. Way to derail
you said you needed a receiver, so I just gave you a good option. I don't know.
That's right. That's right.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, if only.
Yeah, there you
right. Go. Anyway, we have interior offensive line still to go through. So here are the guards that were put. Oh, we didn't even talk about the Joe Alt thing. Really? Man's played 3 fucking games.
I mean, what is there to say? The guy's injured. Fuck the Pro Bowl.
The guy's played 3 fucking games, people. Come on, voters. It's crazy. Offensive guard, our picks were Quinn Miners, Quentin Nelson, and Trey Smith. No surprises there. And then offensive guard for the NFC were Tyler Smith, Joe Tooney, and Chris Lindstrom. Again, no surprises there, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Center.
Pretty fair.
For the AFC, we have Creed Humphrey and Tyler Linderbaum. No
Aaron
surprises
Bruce
there.
snubbed.
I agree, actually, though. So Tyler Linderbaum is not a surprise that he got in because he's a Ravens
Yeah,
player,
Humphrey should have
but
been in.
He also has a
Linderbaum,
pretty big name for a center.
yeah, but do you really think he's played that well this year?
No,
Better than
I'm just
Brewer?
saying he got in off name value. Is what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. It's no surprise that he's in, but very clearly not the second best center in the AFC. It's a bit ridiculous. And then center for the NFC side, Drew Dahlman and Cam Jurgens. Cam Jurgens, really? Cam Jurgens. Just because he's an Eagles
Yeah,
player, they run the tush push, he's going to get in. Come on, guys. We can be a little bit more rational here. He's
it's
not
so
this.
annoying because
That's literally what happened
fucking
with that.
Yeah.
the announcers will be like, every single time you watch the Eagles play, it's a different player who's all about the tush push. And they'll be like, it's all about Jalen Hurts and the quads. That's what
Mhm.
makes the tush push works. And then they'll be like, it's all about Jordan Mailata and the way that he frees up the left gap, and that's how the tush push works. And then they'll be like, it's all about Cam Jurgens and the way that he gets off the ball on the
Yeah,
snap and
which is
makes
it,
when
bro?
he gets down and gets the leverage. And that's how the tush push works. It's just like, okay, make up your fucking mind. How does the tush push work? Who
It's
does it? Who's the most important
it's
part?
all about the refs and allowing the play to continue for as long as the Eagles need. But
And then calling a false start on the one play where there wasn't a false start.
yeah, a makeup call for all the years of torment. All
Right.
right. Now we're moving on to the defensive side here. We defensive end or edge or 4-3 edge according to the Pro Bowl vote because it's still super stupid. This is the NFC side. We have Aiden Hutchinson, Micah Parsons, and Demarcus Lawrence. That's a surprising one, actually. Well done. And the defensive end for the AFC side, Will Anderson Jr., Max Crosby, and Myles Garrett.
Pretty valid.
Pretty
Pretty
straightforward.
valid. You can put
I
Yep.
Danielle Hunter on there over Max Crosby, but I don't hate it.
mhm. I don't. I like Demarcus Lawrence getting a nod here. I'm surprised that he got enough
He
votes to
should
get
be.
in.
In the beginning of the year, he was the best edge rusher to start.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm just surprised I'm surprised he got enough votes. That's really it. Um, so good for him. Very cool. Interior defensive line, we've got Jalen Carter, Leonard Williams, and Quinnen Williams. And then for the AFC side, we've got Zach Allen, Chris Jones, and Jeffrey Simmons.
Pretty standard, honestly.
Not surprised at all, but Chris Jones getting in is a little upsetting. He has not been very impressive this year.
Yeah,
And
he
again, just
hasn't been the
getting in because he's a
best.
Chief and because Mahomes doesn't get in, so they need someone.
Right. Just annoying.
But it's not as it's not as bad as the Travis Kelce pick. I gotta be
No,
honest.
it's
I mean,
not.
I would argue it is, actually. I think Kelsey's played better than Chris Jones has this year.
No, I disagree with that.
Kelsey has much more production than Chris Jones does.
You know,
That's for sure.
maybe as far as the
Yeah,
positional
so
thing
much.
is concerned, like how many more tight ends do you really think are better than Travis Kelce this year versus how many more defensive tackles do you think are really better? I can see your argument from that standpoint for sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, yeah, again, no
Kinda like
surprises.
that.
Just
Yeah, kinda like that.
just annoyed that Jones got in. Outside
Right.
linebacker. Again, this is not 4-3 outside linebackers. This is 3-4 edge rushers. Again, it's basically the
Yeah.
same position as a 4-3 edge rusher. Just they wanted
Yeah.
to make it different so they can get TJ Watt more votes, I guess. I don't know. Nick Benito
Yep.
got in. Tui Pelotu got in, which is pretty cool. And TJ Watt. And then for the NFC side,
Minge.
Brian Burns, Jared Verse, and Byron Young. So this is what's interesting to me is that it feels like so far in this, they've done a very good job of not stacking the same position or the same team per position. Like there's no Devontae Adams in receiver. They already have Puka Nakua. Or there's
I
no
think
T. Higgins
stacking
for
Byron
receiver.
Young there is super cringe. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that's my point is like we've done such a good job so far, quote unquote, at representing several teams for each position. Why now at outside linebacker, like when there's a lot in the talent pool, are we
Especially for
not going to
that
do that?
team. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong,
the
either
Rams
one.
is not the best defense in the league.
I think either one would be worthy of getting a pick, but like not a single Bears defensive lineman made it. Not like no Derek Brown from the Panthers, for example, that made it either. That's a little
Montez
strange.
Sweat should be on the Pro Bowl.
Right. And so like that would have been a perfect opportunity
Yeah.
to, instead of putting, again, stupid that they have 4-3 edge and 3-4 edge as different positions. That's already stupid. So that eliminates, more opportunity from a guy like Montez Sweat. But it highlights our issue, our grievance perfectly here when we have Jared Verse and Byron Young getting a spot. Like let's give one of the spot and let's spread the love to other teams. Unless they were like literally two historically great, like if Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons were on the same defensive line, then sure. But like if they're both just having a good year, I don't see the value. Again, maybe I'm just
I
hating.
agree.
No, you can
That's
never do
definitely
that.
an unwritten rule that you should respect. And it's very clear as day that it's just because it's an LA team that they're getting both votes. I don't think the Byron Youngs really should be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and maybe there is some of that bias there as well. We just saw Joe Alt get a vote for playing 3 games as well. So yeah, I 100% can see that. Here's a middle linebacker though. For the NFC side, we have Jack Campbell and Zach Bond. And then for the AFC side, we have Azeez Al-Shire and Roquan Smith.
I already said it, but Jordan Brooks snubbed. Holy shit.
I think we did. I think we voted for Jordan Brooks as well. So we would definitely agree.
Yeah, and I know Anthony is not fond of the Jack Campbell pick.
I just think, and it's the same issue that I have with the Roquan Smith pick. And maybe it's just because I've been so spoiled with Fred Warner for so long. And obviously, if he was healthy, he would have gotten in the Pro Bowl selection over Jack Campbell, probably. But my issue is when you have such a bad defense, I am looking at players like your middle linebacker, who is usually the quarterback of that defense. And I'm pointing fingers at them for like, what is going on? Like, why is this unit so bad? And the Baltimore Ravens defense has been awful this year. It's been putrid, and Roquan Smith is a part of that, and he's getting in purely on name value. And I feel like Jack Campbell, it's more the same there. That defense is not good. It's been very bad, and that's the reason that they're going to miss the playoffs most likely is the defense. At least the primary reason, right? So like, why are they? I would much rather a linebacker that's having maybe not quite a fantastic year, but a good year, but on an unbelievable defense. Like, how about Ernest Jones the fourth on the Seahawks with the arguably number 1 defense in NFL? They did it on the AFC side. They gave Al-Shire the vote, the nomination. That's the best defense in the NFL. They did it once. Why not do it with every position, with every spot, right?
Right.
So that's my argument against those two spots.
Very valid. It's very valid.
I would agree.
So like you could have like Ernest Jones over Jack Campbell. Easy. Super easy to do. And then for Roquan Smith, I mean, we voted for Oluokun, and he's always a great option. Devin Lloyd as well has been a great option this year, especially in the takeaway department. Like 2 Jacksonville linebackers were more deserving than Roquan Smith, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
Dan Henley, the Chargers, has been fantastic. No love from the Chargers defense so far, outside of Tuipulotu. So, yeah.
Which is surprising that they put him in.
Right. But we'll see. Derwin James, I believe, is got a vote as well. Okay. Cornerback, we have J.C. Horn and Devin Witherspoon in for the NFC side. And then for the AFC side, we've got... There are only 2 corners for the NFC side and 4 for the AFC side? How does that make any sense? What the fuck? The 4, it says 4 corners, right? I'm not like making this up. Christian Gonzalez, Derek Stingley Jr., Pat Surtain II, and Denzel Ward. You go down to the NFC side, it's only J.C. Horn and Devin Witherspoon. Am I missing something?
Weird that they only...
I see that there's also an extra free safety. There's also an extra free safety on the NFC.
Oh, that is so cringe. How many safeties do they have here?
1.
They have 2 strong safeties on here. They're the same amount of safeties.
2 strong safeties, but 1 free safety.
But it's 3 safeties. There's 3 safeties in total.
Oh, it's 3 safeties
side.
overall?
So they're just straight up missing 2 corners here. What were the other 2 corners? Pro Bowl cornerbacks.
Man, ESPN.
fucking horrible product, man. So it seems like Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell? No way. There's no way Google AI is
Yeah, that's
right.
why they didn't put it. Honestly, good omissions. Good omissions. Good job, ESPN.
That would be an insane thing to.
Good omissions, man.
They were like, honestly, these sucked.
Oh my god, continue the site, please. Jesus Christ, stop with the pop-ups. Okay, let's look. NFC corners. It is! It's Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. What? What are we doing? What
The
are we
Eagles bias
doing?
is insane.
What is happening here? It really is. Jalen Carter, who deserves a spot, but is missed time. Zach Bond, probably the most deserving Eagles defender we talked about. But Cooper DeJean and why both? Again, why both? It's crazy. That's ridiculous. That clearly
both overrated as well.
Yeah.
Devin Witherspoon also got absolutely cooked bad last week.
I would say Devin Witherspoon shouldn't be there either. It should be Josh Jobe, the other Seahawks corner. It should be the other one.
Who's actually been good, but doesn't have a name.
Like, what are we doing here on this NFC side for cornerbacks? This is crazy. What an awful. I mean, JC Horn is the one guy who's like, yeah, absolutely. Everyone else is like, what is this? I can't even like react to the AFC side very well. I mean, they got these three right. Denzel Ward is. I don't think he gets it this year.
Been playing really well this year.
He's been good. Don't
I
get
think
me
you're
wrong.
Actually sleeping on him a little bit.
Maybe I am. I haven't watched much Browns football. Forgive me. But,
you're good.
Forgive me.
But like, here's the thing: if we're gonna double stack on a team for a position, for this position in particular, why not the Texans? Like. They have like an unreal secondary, and we only give them one, so that way Denzel Ward can get in. Like that's an example that I can give you of like what would be worthy of stacking over freaking LA Rams edge rushers. Anyway,
right.
Free safety.
Jalen Ramsey made it. Oh my fucking god. You actually can't make this shit up. Jalen Ramsey is the guy who has been in the last 3 Pro Bowls and hasn't earned any of them. This is fucking ridiculous at this point. When are people going to learn he's not that good?
Do we really think Jalen Ramsey has been better than Jalen Petrie this year?
Jalen Petrie has been the best safety in football this year.
And full stop. Period. And he's not the free safety pick for the AFC side. It's wild.
God, bro.
Strong safety though for the AFC. I think they got right. Kyle Hamilton and Derwin James.
I'm cool with that. Kyle Hamilton balled out against the Patriots last night. He was everywhere making plays.
He's the only Ravens defender. Yeah, no, it was a fantastic game. He was the only defender on that Ravens team that should even be close to sniffing a Pro Bowl this year. That's my hot take. No, Roquan Smith. Agree. Actually, that's not my only hot take. I've been full of hot takes this Pro Bowl reaction. Let me. For the NFC free safeties, we have Kevin Byard and Antoine Winfield Jr. I can't believe Winfield got in.
Let's go Oklahoma representation with Tressway, the punter.
Hasn't Winfield been injured? Why isn't the what? Why can't I scroll up all the way on Football Reference? What is happening? What the fuck?
Just refresh the site.
Didn't Winfield miss time though, or am I misremembering? I mean, the Bucks have had so many injuries.
I can't remember. I think he only missed 2 games.
I guess he didn't.
Yeah, he's played in 15 games. Okay. It says at the top.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough then. Definitely worthy of it when he's healthy, and he clearly has been. So I don't know where I've been as far as the Bucks games are concerned, but yeah.
Buda Baker, it's not 2019, bro.
That's kind of wild. Yeah, Buda Baker, in for strong safety. That's the one strong safety pick for the NFC side. No Xavier McKinney at all. Only one Packers defender actually in Micah Parsons who won't even be able to play. That's something. I mean, again, out of the Seahawks secondary, like Julian Love probably is a really good option, and we talked about him when we did our voting. Yeah, I don't. I just. I mean, the Falcons safeties. That safety group is maybe overall the best in the NFL. Just that whole safety room.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal unit and not a single nomination. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. They're not cooking with this secondary, with these DBs on the NFC side.
No, they are not. Kevin Byard is fucking horrible.
Well, he's leading the
You
league.
you
in
know you know what's
interceptions
funny.
this
You know what's
year.
funny about Zach Bond. You know what's funny about Zach Bond.
Let's hear it.
Um, I like Zach Bond. You know, I like how he plays. Decisive, smart.
Former
But
Saint.
the way he,
Former Saint.
yep.
Yeah.
But
Never realized that as a Saint, by the way.
but the way that he plays, linebacker, he's only viewed as a Pro Bowler because he's on the Eagles. I promise you, if he played linebacker the same exact way he plays one of the Titans, he wouldn't be even sniffing the Pro Bowl. On
You know,
not like a. Like it sounds very obvious at first what I'm saying, right? Like, oh yeah, duh, you know.
Yeah.
But listen, okay, listen to me. The guy clearly has a reputation because he plays for the Eagles, right? But he's not the most athletic. He's not not the fastest
How many
linebacker,
people voted for
right?
Cooper DeJean just because he's white?
no, it's because he's an Eagles player. That's why he gets votes. Maybe it's because he's the white cornerback that plays for the Eagles, but the reason, the
That's what
Nobody.
I'm
primary
My
reason
point. My
saying.
is
point
The
is
white cornerback, I think that he might
nobody.
genuinely get votes just for being a white cornerback.
I don't know about that
I
one.
mean, but if that's true, if that was true, then Ethan Bonner would be in the Pro Bowl.
I
All
mean, I
right,
don't even know who that is.
please finish your point about Zach Bond.
Nobody would watch him if he wasn't on the Eagles. That's what I'm saying. Nobody would even notice him if he wasn't on the Eagles.
You
I
know,
disagree. People notice Pete Warner for the Saints.
I do think he's a good player. Maybe the Eagles' defense and the defensive coaching, with Vic Fangio has. I mean, that's obviously made him better. Like he went to the Eagles and became a Pro Bowl all pro player. But so maybe that has inflated his play a little bit, and maybe because of the quality of the defense overall, it kind of masks some of those blemishes that are in his game. That would be
Mhm.
picked apart on a Titans defense that aren't picked apart on the Eagles defense. I get what you're saying to an extent, but I definitely think that he would still be regarded as a good
Oh no,
linebacker
yeah, no,
on
he's a
another
great
team.
player. He's a great player.
Maybe he wouldn't be voted for the Pro Bowl, I guess is maybe your core point.
I agree.
Yes.
I think the Pro Bowl is probably not something that he would be in if he wasn't on the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then real quick, just gonna run through the special teams here. Tress Way made it in. That was our vote. Yeah, I mean he's been a fantastic punter for a long time. Brandon Aubrey, automatic kicker for the Cowboys. Rashid Shaheed made it in for kick returner, so that's pretty cool. Well deserved. Luke Gifford of the 49ers made it. Look, I will say I can't stand Luke Gifford when he's on defense, but he is a very good special teams player. He makes good tackles, but awful in coverage. So please stop lining him up at linebacker, please. Just stop. And then long snapper John Weeks for the 49ers as well. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest coaching pluses of the entire season has just been the turnaround. Like obviously Shanahan has coached his fucking ass off, but the turnaround
The turnaround of special teams.
from the not just special teams, but yeah, that's like the core of my argument. But the whole coaching staff for the 49ers outside of head coach has been remarkably improved. Remarkably improved. They got rid of all the Shanahan merchants and they brought in like Brant Boyer, who's a long time special teams coach, former linebacker, I think. And he has fucking turned this special teams unit around so much to a point where
Former linebackers always make great coaches for some reason.
yeah, it seems like that. Well, when you're the quarterback coaches are usually the better coaches, right? And when you're the quarterback of the defense, it makes a lot of sense that you would become a good coach. So I
True
guess
that.
logically that
Shout
tracks,
out
but
Mike Vrabel.
But just the overall coaching improvement outside of Kyle Shanahan on this team, I think is a big reason why they're winning football games. And you could just tell just based on the product. Since week 2, like the first couple weeks, special teams were still bad, but that's how you adjust. Since then, it's been like a top unit in the NFL. And I mean, the turnaround is clearly like undeniable. If you turn on the Niners game, you can see the result. It's so cool. I'm so glad that this special teams is not like a reason for losing anymore. Like it was last season where it was all time bad. So I definitely think that these two are deserving of that. And frankly, there were a few other guys that probably could have gotten votes in place of Luke Gifford, for example, like a Saron Neal, who's done really well as well. Okay, AFC side, Jordan Stout got in for punter for the Baltimore Ravens. Cameron Dicker for the Chargers is the kicker. Kick returner.
Well.
Yeah, Chimere DK for the Titans. And then special teamer Ben Skoranek for the Steelers. And then long snapper Ross Matskik for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Did we vote for him? I know we did funny hair, I think, for long snapper.
We voted for Zach Wood because he's the lowest overall on Madden every
that's
year.
right. But he's a Saints player, isn't he?
He is a Saints player. I don't know what we did for the AFC side.
Oh, I think didn't we vote? I remember his face.
He couldn't
Remember his
bro.
face.
I think we voted for him for like the NPC smile or something. I don't know. One of us brought up his smile at some point in that picture. But anyway, cool. Well done. I'm not big on the long snapper tape, but I guess when you're the long snapper for the guy who broke the kicking record, that's a pretty cool achievement. Okay. That's the Pro Bowl rosters. Any big takeaways here?
You should have given it to Cam Little just because he broke the record.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, but we ended up voting for Dicker too.
Other than that, he has been pretty bad, so I don't think it's wrong.
He's not the most accurate guy in the world. That's really the issue.
Right, but he is a 5'9" guy who just kicked a 68-yarder. So respect.
Yeah, and 73-yarder in practice.
True.
All right.
I'm telling you, we're gonna genuinely see human evolution to where we get an 80-yard kicked field goal in our lifetime.
I think if that ever happens, the NFL will change the rules where you cannot attempt to kick behind the 50-yard line. That will be the way that they combat it.
That doesn't even make sense though, because kicks beyond 60 yards right now are already beyond the 50-yard line. So why would you limit it now?
I'm just saying that's probably what's going to happen. I get it; it's already happening. But if something
70 yards should be okay.
I just don't know. We'll see. So I think something will happen to limit it. Is my point, I guess. You can argue about the specific yardage, but
that's a fun hot prediction.
The top prediction?
Yeah. I'll buy the top.
No, fun hot prediction. I was just saying what you said.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there you go. Perfect segue. I gave you guys a hot take that I actually believe, and here I'm going to give you some more hot takes. It's been a fun segment over the last couple of weeks, so we have a few more here before we go into our power rankings. And again, so these are hot takes. I just want to hear you guys' perspectives on it. If you think it's hot, if you think it's not hot, maybe you think it's really likely. But the first one here, the 49ers will not travel for the rest of the season, including playing at home in the Super Bowl. Of course, the Super Bowl 60 here this season is hosted in Levi Stadium, and the final 2 games of the regular season are also at home. So this implies that the Niners will get the 1 seed and they will make it all the way to the Super Bowl and never play a road game for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it just implies too much.
All they have to do is win 2 games and then this happens. So I say, yeah, this is probably happening. Because even if you lose in the playoffs, that doesn't mean you go on the road.
Well, it is implying the take is implying that they make it to the Super Bowl.
It's including playing at home in the Super Bowl, so they're gonna play. That's what Anthony's saying here.
I mean, them playing in the Super Bowl is a little bit hot, but I don't think it's the worst take in the world.
No, it's certainly possible. It's not a horrible take, but I automatically have to say hot just because You're saying playing the Super Bowl, like yeah, they're gonna play in the Super Bowl. That's automatically hot for me because
Obviously,
there's
it's going to
so
be a
many other
hot
teams
take
in
just
NFC.
picking any
Yeah,
team to come out of the NFC right now because the
yeah,
NFC
yeah,
West just is representing 3 of the best teams in football.
yeah, yeah. So hot take, but certainly possible.
Okay. Take number 2. The Jaguars are the favorites out of the AFC at this point. Yeah, they're on a
No.
6-game
It's
No,
win
still
I
the
streak.
don't
Patriots or
trust them.
Bills.
I want to say yes because I fucking hate the Bills, but I can't trust them enough.
It has to be the Bills to be the favorite at this point. You can't put Josh Allen in a playoff field and say the best quarterback you will face is Trevor Lawrence and say that he is not the favorite in that playoff field.
No, obviously the Bills have their flaws, right? They
Big
need
Right, but
the
like
running game.
we've seen
They.
Josh Allen will that team
Well, I know,
against
I know, I know, I know,
significantly greater opponents.
I know, I know.
Well,
But
but
clearly,
maybe
defense is iffy.
are you sure you guys aren't sleeping on the Jaguars a little bit? I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
they've
it's
gone
not. It's
against the
not sleeping.
Titans,
It's
for
just.
example, in
It's
this
not that.
win streak, but the defense creates turnovers and is very good against the run. And Trevor Lawrence has evidently figured it out. He's been very clean with the football and can. I mean, he's got a talented receiving core as well who can make plays. And it's
Hmm.
funny that Brian Thomas Jr. is like the least remarkable out of those guys, but here we are. And, Travis Etienne on the run game has gotten really hot as well over this stretch. So, I think the Jaguars are a very, very, very good team, and they could
I
be
think
a
if the
nightmare.
Jaguars played the Bills in the playoffs, the Bills win by 10.
I think that's pretty hot. I think that's a pretty hot take.
I just there's no reason why I should choose the Jags in the playoffs. The playoffs are a different game, plain and simple.
Okay.
So
A lot of
just
the
early
ways
to
that
say.
Josh
Just early
Allen
to say.
executed this year.
All right.
But I will say this: if the Bills don't win it this year, when are they going to win it?
If the Bills don't win it this year, then Josh Allen won't get a ring. And we need to have a serious discussion about what his playoff resume is going to do to his all-time legacy because he's on track to be a Hall of Famer pretty clearly. But if he can't win it all at all and continues to do this shit where he's just like a Phillip Rivers type, he's going to be seriously questioned if he actually deserves to be
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't
league.
know. I don't know if he has to win a Super Bowl to go to the Hall of
He
Fame.
doesn't have to, but that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a serious question.
People
Because
are
Oh,
Phillip
for
Rivers
sure.
is
people
like,
people are already debating it. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't able to get it done with Mahomes in the picture. People are already talking about this guy's a playoff choker. He can't get it done in the big moments. And, like people don't like cast aside. They cast aside the MVP from last season. They cast aside the fact that he literally carries this team each season because the roster itself is not constructed to win playoff games. And it's already happening, that discussion.
Yeah, there you go.
I think, actually, here's a take for you. It's not even a take, it's just my opinion. If the Bills do not make the Super Bowl, Sean McDermott needs to be fired. He needs to
he needs
go.
to be fired regardless.
Well, but he's not going to be fired if they make the Super Bowl, is my point. So if they don't
You won't.
go, he should, and probably, maybe will be fired at that point, I
I
think.
think he doesn't get fired if they make it to the AFC Championship again. Honestly, I think he probably keeps his job.
Maybe that's the round, yeah. I definitely think they have to go deep into the playoffs for him to keep his job. But I think he's the real like primary thing holding the team back is this coaching staff and him at the center of it.
I would say it's him and the defense.
Well, he's supposed to be a defensive minded coach, right? It's his defense.
Right, but we all know that it was just Leslie Frazier's defense.
I mean, yeah, that's why as soon as he left, it took a huge step down, and they haven't really addressed it since.
Yeah, and he was supposed to come back, and that never happened.
All right, take number 3. Ben Johnson will win Coach of the Year.
Yeah, that's probably who the favorite is. I mean, I don't see Mike
He's a
McDaniel
hammer
or
Vrabel,
Mike McDonald
so
winning
pretty
it.
reasonable take.
Um, just because, let's be real, the Bears are a bigger market than the Seahawks are. And I think that their success is a bit more impressive to the media because it's been longer since the Bears have been a
I think you
team
should
of
consider the Vrabel's
notoriety.
Patriots as well.
I think
Huh?
there are
I mean,
5 coaches who should be in the
Shanahan.
mix. Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, Mike McDonald, Kyle Shanahan, and Liam Cohen. Those are the 5 coaches that
Mike
I would
Vrabel's
put in
already
the
won
mix.
it, so I don't think he's going to win it again. It's very hard for a coach to win Coach of the Year multiple times.
Kevin Stefanski did. We talked about that a few times on the show. Like, it, we've seen bad coaches win Coach of the Year twice, and almost in back-to-back years, not too long ago. Like there is, I get what you're saying. It's hard to win twice, but there is precedent there, and for him to take a team that went won 4 games last season in his first year as the coach to potentially win the 1 seed. Like both the Patriots and Bears are in play for the 1 seed in the first year for either of these coaches. Like
Both
I
with their sophomore year quarterback, both with significantly improved defenses. But the Bears defense, well, actually, I would say the Bears offense is more improved than the Patriots defense, and the Bears offense is what the head coach is responsible for, whereas the defense is what the coach is responsible for the Patriots.
eh,
But because Gerard Mayo had the defense in a much better spot than Mike Vrabel has. Their defense was way better last year than it is this year.
I don't believe so, but also Mike Vrabel's not a defensive coach. He's
Statistically, it
much
is
more of a
100%. Statistically, last year they were the best in football. This year they aren't even close to that.
statistically the Patriots defense was the best in football. Is that what you said?
Last year, yes.
By what? Points per game?
Total yardage.
I don't care about total yardage,
I
Jacob.
don't care
Come
about
on.
yards.
Total yardage. There's no way you're using total yardage as your metric. Oh my god. That's no shot.
Total defense is still, if you are the best in football at total defense, that still is significant. Like, that doesn't mean that you have a.
It's not insignificant, but that does not mean that they were the best defense or even a top 5 unit last year. No way. Like, I need to see lack of yards. I need to see turnover creation. I need to see points added. Like, I need to see
Okay, well,
all
let's
these
pull it up.
things.
Look up defensive rankings from 2024. Look it up.
Let's see your yards. They weren't even the least amount of yards last year. It was the Eagles. Where even are the Patriots? I should have highlighted them first before I. Where are
Okay, I
they?
could
Yeah,
just be
22nd.
completely tripping.
22nd.
22. Thank you.
I could just be completely tripping.
Yards per play, not too horrible. Turnovers,
The
one of the
passing?
worst in the league in creating turnovers. Passing yards, one of the worst.
Nope.
Rushing
Okay,
yards.
I'm just tripping. I'm just
Top
tripping.
third. Okay.
I'll just shut up now.
All right. Well, we'll move on. So my point was, even if they were, that's not a needle mover for me. But next hot take: the NFC South champion will pull off an upset and win a playoff game.
I don't see this happening at all. They are not beating the 2 seed, or not the 2 seed, the 5 seed. Because they would have to beat the Seahawks, Rams, or Niners, and that's just not happening.
Or Packers.
The Packers can't get the 5 seed.
Why not?
Are they not?
If the
records
Rams,
low enough?
if the Rams and Niners both lose out and the Packers win out, they would get it. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. It's possible though. Unlikely.
Don't the Rams and Niners? No, they've already played twice. Okay.
The Niners and Seahawks have to play each other. So essentially what that's saying though is that either the Panthers or the Buccaneers will upset either the Rams, Niners, or Seahawks at home.
I don't see the Packers getting the 5 seed, so no, this isn't happening.
What do you think would be like the most likely scenario for that to happen? Which
The Packers would have to win the 5 seed in order for the NFC
minus
South
the Packers out of the 3 NFC West teams and out of the 2 NFC South teams? What's the most likely
the
scenario?
most likely option would be Panthers versus Rams because we've already seen it happen.
Okay.
Either that or Bucks versus Seahawks, but I would disagree with that because the Bucks of today are significantly worse than the Bucks that were against the Seahawks earlier in the season.
The Bucks also beat the Niners earlier in the year by multiple scores.
Still significantly worse. Niners have also significantly improved throughout the year.
Okay. So super, super hot for Jacob. Vitor, what do you think?
Probably in the same boat as
Okay.
Jacob. Yep.
How about this one? The Pittsburgh Steelers will play in the AFC Championship game.
Fuck no.
The Pittsburgh Steelers will be one and done in the playoffs like they are
One
every
and
year.
done. Yep.
So that's obviously the most plausible scenario, or the scenario that everyone talks about. They're either going to be playing a combination of, the Texans, Bills, Chargers, or Jaguars. If the Jaguars lose and the Texans win that division, but they
They would
all
be a touchdown underdog in all of those games except for the Chargers one because they host, and they would still be a 3-point underdog, I'm sure.
okay. And you don't think they're capable of winning any of those?
I mean, they're capable of winning against the Chargers. They are absolutely not capable of winning 2 games in this playoffs.
Okay.
Them going to the AFC Championship would be plus 20,000 odds if it was to be an actual bet.
All right. How about this one? Straying away from the playoff topic for a second here. The Titans just coming off a win against the Chiefs. They will win themselves out of a top 5 draft pick.
No, because they're going to lose to the Saints.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So if they lose to the Saints, where is that game? They lose to the Saints, but then they win against the Jaguars. Let's say the division's locked up, Jacksonville's resting starters, or whatever the case is. Do you think that still could be a top 5 pick potential there? Even if they go 1-1?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it's more likely that they get the number 1 pick. This is close. I
Number
honestly think it's
1
necessarily
pick?
typing. Or not number 1, sorry. I think it's more likely to get a top 5 pick than not a top 5 pick.
Okay.
But
'Cause
it's close. I would say this is like 60-40.
I think more likely than not for them to get a top 5 pick, they'd have to go 0-2, which means you would be picking the Saints in this week, which I think surprisingly now is a little bit closer than we may have thought. Uh, last week as opposed to going into this week. This game being pretty close, and so maybe they do end up going 0-2, and obviously that would catapult the Saints out of that top 5 conversation. But if the Titans do win that game, I think that might catapult them out of the top 5 conversation, because then they'd have the head-to-head over New Orleans as well with the same record.
Hey, I'm praying we lose.
Maybe it
Of
happens.
course.
How about this next one? John Harbaugh will be the surprise firing of the offseason.
Honestly, wouldn't be too surprised by it. He should have been fired last year.
Okay.
Or maybe not last year, but definitely he hasn't done anything in the playoffs in a long time.
You know why? You know why I think it's a hot take?
Why is that?
I don't think it would be a surprise.
Okay, so you're both in that. Okay, you're both on that train.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
All
So I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
not a surprise firing. So maybe it's a hot take because you think it's a surprise. Okay, I'm just reaching out. But yeah, no, I think it's happening.
All right, fair enough. All right, and final one here. I think this is a really fun one to think about. All road teams will win on Super Wildcard Weekend.
The odds of that happening is super low. So I already want to say hot, but let's look at the scenarios.
I mean, they're hot,
I
but
think I actually brought this up last week and said that it's likely to happen.
yeah, and so the picture has changed a little bit since then. But here's what the picture currently looks like.
Holy shit! If it happened today, it might be so plausible.
Right?
exactly.
Like, this is like Patriots. Not, I don't think they match up very well against the Texans. If that 2-7 happens, like, you could see a one and done New England Patriots team, which would be really unfortunate, right? The Bills against the Jaguars. We were just had that conversation between Trevor Lawrence versus Josh Allen just a few minutes ago. You guys were both on the Josh Allen side. The Chargers on the road against the Steelers. We just talked about for a little bit. Packers and Bears for round 3, and both times have been hotly contested, and the Packers, you could argue, should have won both times, but they collapsed at the end of the second meeting. The Rams
I'm pretty
against
sure
the
when I said it though, the Bears were the one that were on the road against the Packers.
maybe, so that would have been like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. But yeah, the
The Bears
Rams.
went from the 1 seed to the 7 seed that week.
Yeah. Rams against the Eagles. The Eagles are not quite what they were when they first played each other early in the year. And then the 49ers is the 5 against the 4 Carolina Panthers. So, like, looking at the current picture, how likely, like, do we think that could happen? Because I think individually, each game you could definitely
Obviously,
see, but having all 6 of them
odds
go
are
that
so
way.
low.
it's just not going to happen because the odds of 6 games happening the
Yeah, the
way
odds
that
are
you
so
expect them
low.
to, it's just probably not going to happen. This doesn't.
But,
It's
but
not something
man,
that we expect to
it's
see.
something fun to think about.
I think
But
it's a
if it
very
was
fun
going to
thought.
happen in a year, this would be the year.
Then that's exactly what I was going to say. Why not this year? Because of how wide open everything is. You know, there really is no dominant team in the NFL, and it's exemplified by the fact that both of the 1 seeds are still wide open. You know, I don't know if the Jaguars have a shot at it. Let's see if they win out and the Broncos lose out, which is very unlikely, by the way. And then the Patriots also lose out. The Jaguars end up with the 1. I guess the Patriots don't even have to lose out. They only have to lose 1 game. And then the Jaguars get it. But so the Jaguars theoretically
Broncos
still have
won't
a
lose out
shot.
though.
No, they won't either. I mean, let's see if they. So they only have to. So the Jaguars actually, the Broncos and Patriots
Who
only have
gets
to
the
lose
1
1
seed?
game each, and the Jaguars
That's
have to win
crazy.
out for them to get the 1 seed. It's more likely than I thought before going into it. That's
Who
pretty
do the
wild.
Patriots play for their last 2 games?
The Jets and Dolphins. So like
Oh, that's not happening.
the easiest scenario for it to happen would be the
Patriots are getting the 1 seed.
Broncos and Patriots win today or this week rather, and then the Chargers and Dolphins win week 18, and then the Jaguars, of course, take care of business. But my point is that there are 3 teams basically in contention for the top seed. I don't think the Bills can do it, even if they win out and the Patriots lose out. And let's see if the Jaguars lose a game. I guess yeah. So they have a shot too if things go that way for the Bills. Uh, Again, point is wide open 1 seed for both conferences. Obviously, we know a lot of the scenarios for the NFC side already, but there you go. A little bit of playoff scenarios for the AFC there.
Mhm. I will say this is going to be a really fun playoff picture. I'm really excited for these matchups.
Yeah.
Also, we finally got a Steelers matchup in the playoffs for the first round that isn't just going to be a 20-point blowout because the Chargers they play down to their opponent enough to where it'll actually be a competitive game. So that'll be fun at least. We'll get to see the Steelers be competitive in the playoffs for the first time in a while.
Yeah, maybe
Shout out Steelers fans.
since what 2017 probably.
Since they came back on the Browns after the Browns got up 41
Oh,
to
you know what?
whatever,
You're right. Yeah.
because they made it somewhat interesting in the fourth quarter by scoring in garbage time.
I forgot that the Steelers and Browns played each other in the playoffs. How crazy.
Yeah, and Ben Roethlisberger threw for like 400 yards in that game because they were losing by so much. Fun times.
Okay. Well, I say we move on to our power rankings here, to our tier list. I've got a couple of themed names for us. Of course, we have our S tier still: superheroes, supervillains, super cursed, Super Bowl, and super cursed this week because both teams in our S tier last week lost games this week, so that's always a lot of fun. And then our A tier this week is apple pie, a nice classic holiday dessert. And then we've got bread rolls for our B tier. You know, it's not going to knock your socks off, but pretty damn good.
We
And then
finally got rid of Bougie.
I felt like just for the theming, yeah, I moved
That's
on
fair.
from it. And then for C tier, we've got corn balls, or they need a
That's
Christmas
good.
miracle for the C tier. And then we've got dead lumps of coal for our D tier. And then for our F tier, we have fruitcake.
Fruitcake.
Yep.
Oh no. You know who we can throw right in the fruitcake tier? The New York Jets.
Yeah, we can. And we can throw their neighbors in East Rutherford right there with them.
And it fits perfect because they live in the Big Apple.
Yeah, that's true. How
You know
about
who else we could throw in there? Who lives in the fucking Peach State? The fucking Falcons do,
Yeah,
baby.
throw the
Ooh,
Falcons in there.
I disagree. They were in D tier last week. They
What?
won this week. They won by 10 points. I don't think they're quite in F tier yet.
I guess so.
Boo.
How about the Raiders though? Almost forgot about them. Almost slipped under the
Yeah, we can
radar.
throw the Raiders and the Cardinals in there.
Cardinals. We had the Commanders, Titans, and Browns were the other three. Browns probably, but closer to the top this week. Titans maybe moving up to D tier at this point. They've been pretty impressive the last couple weeks. They won. I granted it was against
Saints
the
as well,
third
right?
string Kansas City Chief quarterback, a Lotacon, but they could string together a couple wins and some nice momentum at the end of the season. And be optimistic and make a head coaching destination a little bit more attractive, right?
Right.
How about the Saints? We had them in D tier last week.
Mm-hmm. I'm putting them above.
Commanders in F. Yeah, that's our
I put
F tier
them. I
above the
put the Giants above
Cardinals.
the Jets. Put the Cardinals above the Commanders.
Okay. We had the Vikings and the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs should probably go even further down at this
The
point.
Vikings need to be even further down now too.
I mean, they did just lose 9 again, but they're 7-8. Surprisingly, they have really
Yeah,
recovered
and
their record.
Brock or Max, whatever the fuck his name is, he's horrible. He's so
I
bad.
agree with you, but my issue is that they are 2 wins better than everyone else in this. Like, would you pick the Falcons over them right now? I guess you would because of Max
Yeah,
Brosma.
I would.
Okay.
I would probably pick the Bengals. I would pick everyone except for the Chiefs. I would pick everyone except for the Chiefs in that tier.
Vitor.
Except for the Chiefs and maybe the Bengals.
I mean, the Bengals just dominated your team, and they have a similarly shit quarterback right now.
All right, we'll
It's
just
fine
do
right
it.
there. It's fine right there. I prefer to play the
I
Vikings and the Bengals. Yeah. Okay, so
I'm not that married to any team
no,
spots
no,
here
yeah.
in the bottom tier. The Dolphins need to move back down though after that piss poor
Yeah.
performance.
No, don't stay.
Piss poor, man.
Oh
Uh
no,
our C tier, they need a
we
Christmas
ruined our draft
miracle.
stock again.
So that means where's the other one? The Ravens, Colts, and the Lions.
Cowboys?
No, Cowboys are eliminated. I think they're dead.
Oh well, dead lumps of coal.
Yeah, they're eliminated from playoffs. That's fair.
Yeah, and so these 4 teams need a Christmas miracle to make it in. I don't really care how you guys want to order that. If you're good with that order or not, it doesn't really matter to me. Again,
Okay.
We
but
have the rest of the playoff field, so we can go ahead and throw in the Panthers and Steelers because they're the 2 worst playoff teams.
sure thing. Panthers and Steelers.
Then probably followed by the Eagles.
I'd like to put the Eagles down there, yeah, and I'd like to put the Packers down there at this
I
point,
agree.
unfortunately.
It's
How about
mostly due to injuries. It's not because of the quality of play. Just want to point that out.
yes. As it currently stands, I would say the Seahawks are in our S tier, surpassing the Rams in the NFC side. And it sounds like you guys are more into the Bills camp at this moment. But I was going to say the Jaguars deserve to go up in S again after beating our previous S
As of
tier
now, sure.
AFC
As of
team by
now,
10
sure.
points.
I was more so
I
looking at the
personally
outfit.
don't think that beating or 1 week you can go from the bottom of A tier to S tier.
I mean, I get it, but they also just like what we said last week.
Yeah, but
We
we've
said
also just been keeping the Broncos up there because we kind of have to. It's not necessarily a
we
team that
haven't
we've
kept
been
them
like,
up
okay, this
there.
team's legit.
We hadn't kept them up there. We had them up there for 1 week or maybe 2 weeks. But my point is that we also said last week that this tier doesn't really matter that much to us. It's only there symbolically at this point, and all these teams in A and S tier are very interchangeable. That's something that we all agreed on last week. And so I'm not bothered at all by the team at the bottom of that super interchangeable tier moving up to S.
I think your argument is sound, but I still just think the Bills are better.
And that's fine, but sounds like Vitor and I are on the same page there. But the
As of
Bills,
now, I think the Jaguars pick is fine.
the Bills could be toward the top of A. I was not impressed by their performance against the Browns, though. That was honestly kind of embarrassing, quite frankly. I think that might be worth moving them down a little bit, at least below some of the top performing NFC teams right now, which would be probably the Bears and the Niners and the Rams. I mean, all the remaining NFC teams, however order you guys want to put them in.
Yeah, I would say the Niners are definitely the top of that list. I would put the Bills above the Bears and Rams still.
All right, Vitor, what do you think?
Yeah, Bears above.
Rams lost to the Panthers like 3 weeks ago.
So
I
like
said
So if
Bears
we're gonna
above.
be mad at the
so above the Bears, you mean?
yeah,
Sure,
I personally am above the Bears.
Okay. And how about the other
sure.
four AFC teams here? Again, very interchangeable.
I think the Broncos go above the Rams. The Texans go above the Rams. And then the Chargers are above the Packers. And the Patriots
Oh,
are below the Broncos.
okay. So you're
That's where I
demoting
would
the
have
Rams
it.
quite a bit for that loss, it seems. I mean,
It's I mean, I don't necessarily I guess the Rams would probably be higher. The Rams should probably be higher.
well, for me, I find these teams very interchangeable, so it doesn't bother me at all. But you seem pretty firm about your opinion on this, so that's why I'm double checking or asking for clarification.
Well, so to be honest with you, I think the Texans defense would provide a lot of issues to the Rams offense, and I don't think the Rams defense would provide too many issues to the Texans offense. Not that the Texans offense is great. I think the Texans offense would still be not like pretty much average in that game.
Sure.
But I think the average is all they would need to win because of how good this defense is playing right now. I think Stafford is prone to making mistakes. He hasn't been making a ton of them, but he is prone to making mistakes. And when you have a defense that has been capitalizing on everybody's mistakes, I'm going to kind of just ride that momentum. So I have the Texans higher right now. They just feel like a better team. I've had the Patriots better all year. That's just kind of how I feel about it. You can swap those personally. I don't have too strong of a feeling. Patriots have a lot more wins than the Texans, so that's why I have them higher. But I wouldn't mind the Texans being above the Patriots either. Um, Broncos I've been low on all season, but they also have the best record in football, so you have to keep them somewhat high. Bills I think are going to win the Super Bowl, so I have to keep them pretty high in my power rankings. But I will agree the Browns lost or the Browns win is not a good looking win. So I mean that's just kind of my thoughts on it. I think the Chargers are also the worst team in the AFC other than the Steelers. I think that's pretty obvious.
Okay. Vitor, what do you think?
Um, I think I agree. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't really add much to what Jacob said, to be honest. But I
Okay.
mean, the thing with the Bills is I have my issues with how the team performs and how they operate, right? How much they depend on the running game. But I mean, if I have to bet or guess what's going to happen in the playoffs, I trust the Bills more than other teams. So, um, kind of want to put the Bills on top of A, personally. But as it stands right now, which is what we're doing this for, then I think that's probably the best looking rank. I think so.
I
It's
think
fine. It's
that
fine by me.
Bills feel like they should be on the top of A, but if we're judging it based on resume, they should probably be at the bottom of A.
So,
I personally would
okay.
have the Bills on the bottom of A. Yes.
I think then that's fair. I think objectively they're probably bottom of A. We're
Okay.
probably projecting them a little bit too much in the top of A ranking.
We probably are projecting. That's kind of what I maybe wanted to conclude with.
I think we both agree on that.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Then I think that looks pretty good. In our S tier, we've got the Seahawks and the Jaguars. In our A tier, we have the 49ers, the Bears, the Broncos, the Texans, the Patriots, the Rams, and the Bills. In our B tier, we've got the Chargers, the Packers, the Eagles, the Panthers, and the Steelers. In our C tier, we have the Ravens, the Colts, the Buccaneers, and the Lions. In our D tier, we have the Dallas Cowboys, the Falcons, the Saints, the Titans, the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Vikings, and the Chiefs. And then in our F tier,
No.
we have the Browns, Cardinals, Commanders, Giants, Jets, and Raiders.
Regardless.
Any final like storyline elements that we want to go over before we make our picks for week 17, our Christmas pick'ems?
Yeah, fuck the Broncos. Finally they lost. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, the Broncos kind of finally had the game that we've all been expecting them to have for a while now. And it's funny because I think we all picked the Broncos. I mean, well, actually, me and Barufi picked the Broncos. You picked the Jags, right, Anthony?
I I don't remember if what I
I
picked
don't remember
in
how it
the
went.
I don't remember what I picked on the show, but I ended up picking the Broncos. I was very, very close on either one. I could see either result happening. So unfortunately, I did end up solidifying the Broncos on my ESPN pick'ems.
Mm. Yeah, but they finally played like to the level that we kind of like expect them to be at. They didn't necessarily have that fourth quarter magic that they always seem to have, and it finally came back to bite them.
The fluke, yeah.
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 Also, the defense just didn't look good for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
which is a little unexpected.
Great take by us picking the Titans this week. I thought that was a very easy pick to make, though. Quite frankly, even if Minshew made it through the whole game, and I mean the Titans didn't have many points on the board when Minshew got hurt, but they were pretty much controlling the flow of the game at that point, and so I felt really good about that prediction. Obviously, you know the Bills were going to win. It was just a matter of actually like caring enough to win that game. It felt like. So that was a strange one. The Dolphins really let us down this week. The Texans were
What a
nearly,
shocker.
yeah, shocking, right? Texans were nearly upset. I feel like that was just another one where they're looking ahead to the upcoming divisional matchups that are much more meaningful than really anything that an indictment on the coaching or anything like that, or an improvement of the Raiders. The Patriots
Right.
got it done against the Ravens, which was really important, especially with the Broncos' loss. So that's huge for them. The Chargers also got it done, and it ended up being kind of a get right game for the offense, I felt, and that was kind of what I said going into it. The reason I picked the Chargers, they could get some offensive production going and some play calling consistency going, and maybe that ends up being a corner turner for them. So I'm looking forward to the next two games with the Chargers and hoping that they can produce some offense so we can instill some confidence in this team going into the postseason. The Saints was again a pretty standard, fair, safe pick. Uh, I believe we all picked the Lions, and so they let us down on that one. They let themselves down. Really, that was a tough one. What did you guys think about the controversial ending, though, to that game?
I personally don't care. I
I
don't
didn't
care
watch
if
it.
you get excuses. Like the replay doesn't change anything. He's short of the first down regardless.
So
I
what
didn't watch it.
so what happened, Vitor, was there was a
Mm-hmm.
third down and goal, or third down and 10 or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
or no, it wasn't even. It was third and goal at like the 2 or something, and
Okay.
they had run it. One person ran a rub route, and then one route ran an out, and they called
Okay.
offensive pass interference on the rub route because he impeded the corner. And obviously that's a very controversial call as it is, because it's like, well, he's running his route, he has to
Mm.
be able to reasonably run his route. Was he
Yeah.
actually just screening for his other receiver to get open? So
Yeah.
that call brought a touchdown off the board, and so they get
Yeah.
pushed back, and now it's fourth down and goal, and it's the final play of the game. This is going to be it. This is
Dude.
for all the marbles. And
Dude.
Amon-Ra St. Brown runs in a slant into the end zone,
Yeah.
kind of a slant thing, but it's also like a kind of a hitch or something. But he pushes off against Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey kind of sells it a little bit by flying backwards or whatever. But he two arm pushes him like that is the pass interference signal when
I
they
actually I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah, it definitely was pass interference.
yeah. like that is the symbol for pass interference when a referee calls it, right? And that was what he does. He pushes off, he goes and catches the ball short of the goal line, and then he gets tackled, but he doesn't go down. But the contact starts at the 2 yard line ish, 1.5, 2 yard line. He gets pushed back to like the 7 yard line, and then he pitches it to Jared Goff, who runs in
The
and scores a
fuck.
touchdown to end the game, and presumably the Lions win. After
Presumably.
review, the referees determined that obviously there was a flag for pass interference, offensive pass interference, which they threw, and it wasn't a late flag at all. Actually, they threw it pretty much as soon as Amon-Ra St. Brown caught the ball, which was like a split second
Okay.
after the pass interference was committed. So it was like it was punctual. They weren't just calling it
Right.
based on a reaction. And but the other thing was like he was dragged from the 2 yard line to like he was dragged 5 yards back. How is forward progress not stopped? And that was my real
Okay.
issue with the whole thing is that is clearly a forward progress stopping tackle by the players, and because of that, it's fourth down. The play is over. The game is over because it's fourth down. Like it, irregardless of what happens beyond that, the game is over. And so but Lions fans claimed that they were robbed of a touchdown because of the pass interference. But my argument is one, definitionally, that one is a pass interference, even if it was maybe
Yeah.
what they called a soft call. I don't think it was.
You have
Um,
to call it. It was
yes,
100% the right call.
right,
You don't get soft calls at the end of the game.
right.
It's the call.
But even if it wasn't a pass
Same shit with the
interference,
Eagles Super Bowl.
even if it wasn't a pass interference, he was carried back from the 2 to the 7. Shit. I just spilled wine. Ugh. I'll be right back.
Wine. We're having wine today.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Goated.
To finish what Anthony is about to say, you are pushed 5 yards back after receiving the ball. Forward progress should be called at that point anyways. So regardless of him lateraling it, there's multiple reasons why it shouldn't have been a touchdown. And at the end of the day, you're a fucking 7-point favorite. Take care of business at home. Don't lose to the shitty ass Steelers. That is your fucking fault, Lions. They failed to execute. You
That's so
cannot blame
valid.
other people for
That's
it.
so
This is
valid.
not the Chiefs game where you had 0 flags called against you. You got to execute. Do your fucking job, and this doesn't happen. If you are a 7-point favorite, you should win the game handily. You should not have to rely on the refs to get you out of it.
What a completely irrational take. Come on now.
Thank you.
No, the favorite shouldn't win. No. It's the ref's fault, surely.
Oh, for sure.
It sounded like the Carolina Hurricanes fans recently against the Florida Panthers. But anyway, totally.
The refs were favoring Alabama all game against Oklahoma, but I don't give a shit. We blew a 17-point lead. That's our fault. Like, they can favor Alabama, but we blew a 17-point lead. The refs aren't blowing a 17-point lead. That was us. Like, at some point, you got to just do your job as a football team and stop trying to blame other people. The Lions have lost on multiple occasions, and it is not the refs' fault every time you lose. The Chiefs, I'll give you, because that one was bullshit. But every other game,
The Eagles won. I
sorry.
mean, even though they probably deserved to lose that game too, like that was still way worse of a call than this one. Way worse. And they would have had a chance afterwards. This one, literally the last play of the game. Like they would not have had a chance regardless.
I've noticed every time I talk, it results in me coughing, and I'm pretty sure I have COVID.
Well, there's another bug going around that I actually had over the weekend. And that was a brutal bug. That was fucking that. It wasn't respiratory though, so maybe you have something different. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that mine is the one, and the reason why I am is just because my buddy got diagnosed last week, and we were hanging out. Or sorry, no, he didn't get diagnosed last week. We were hanging out last week, and he got diagnosed yesterday.
Well, the other one is a stomach bug though. Do you have stomach issues?
I didn't experience anything like that. Is that what you got?
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, I don't want to be graphic with the show, but it was brutal. I thought it was food poisoning
Was
at
the
first
porcelain
because,
throne able to maintain the explosion?
yeah, of course, but that's a resilient piece of metal there. But yeah,
Piece of metal.
it
Yeah.
was not
Yep.
pleasant though. And
Yeah, of course. Like he said that so casually, like that's a normal question.
well, you never know. I mean, lactose intolerant people, but
Me, anytime I eat anything, honestly, because
yeah.
I don't eat things without lactose. I need cheese, butter, or something.
But that one was particularly brutal, and even like the look, even at like the couple days after I recovered, the just looking at food made me feel sick, and I've never really experienced that before. So it was kind of hard to eat throughout the whole process.
That sounds brutal, man.
But anyway, let's let me finish recapping these games real quick. Niners took care of business. I'll put up almost 50 points actually against the Colts. What shocked me so much was the lack of defense in this game. Like the 49ers defense, I knew I had a concern going into it, but for the wrong reasons apparently. I was really worried about the run defense, and they ended up stopping the run really well. Jonathan Taylor was a non-issue in this game, and it was the pass defense. But it felt like they were running man coverage at the wrong times, zone coverage at the wrong times, blitzing at the wrong times. It was a weird game plan by Saleh. They kind of figured it out toward the end there, and then that resulted in a game-sealing pick six, which is cool. But
Right.
but it was strange. And then same thing with the Colts. Like they're down their top two corners and everything, but DeForest Buckner was back, but they couldn't stop the run at all. They couldn't stop the pass at all. That's one of Brock Purdy's best games
Wait,
as a
Sauce
starting
Gardner's already
quarterback.
injured.
Yeah, he's missed. He's only played in 2 games since the trade.
Oh shit.
Um, but yeah, that was one of Brock Purdy's best games as a starter in the NFL, I thought. And so that makes me very optimistic going forward. But I'm also not. I'm also scared because this defense doesn't feel like it can stop anybody. And so if the offense has to put up 40 points, I think they can every week. But I don't also want that to be the reality that I live in.
Hey man, I lived in that reality with Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma for a decade, or not even a decade, a half decade. It is fucking awful. It
Yeah.
is the worst.
Yeah.
But I will say you do have a quarterback who played in the Super Bowl, and every time he left the field, his team was winning. So if you're
Yeah.
gonna have to win by that way, he is the guy to do it.
Yeah. That's very true. Uh, Thursday night football was pretty crazy. An unbelievable comeback by the Seahawks there to make them control their own destiny, as well as the 49ers by that metric. So the Rams no longer in control of the NFC West, which I love to see, of course. But it most likely comes down to the Week 18 matchup between the Seahawks and Niners for that one seed, which is pretty cool. So, maybe a Sunday night game for that one. We'll see. But yeah, pretty crazy comeback, a controversial 2-point play. What do you guys think about that one?
Do you
Honestly,
do you think it was the right call or not?
Well, that's what
it's
I'm
not the
asking
right call.
you.
It's objectively, it's not the right call. You blew the play dead before he picked up the ball. You cannot call that a touchdown.
It's
Um,
tough,
The
right?
play had
it
the
is
play
tough.
had stopped before he
It's very
recovered the
tough.
ball, so you cannot act on what happens after.
So
We have had multiple occasions where the precedent has been set, where fumbles have gone returned for a touchdown, and because the play had been blown dead prior, it is not a touchdown. Therefore, the play has been blown dead. He cannot recover the ball after the play is dead and recover it for the 2-point conversion. That is against precedent that has already been set prior. You cannot do that.
yeah, I definitely hear that argument. The only I see only a
I
pushback.
don't rip Bozo.
The only pushback that I would give, and maybe Vitor agrees with me with this pushback, is
Yep.
if you were like if there is a scoring review of that play and you see
Mhm.
that is clearly not a forward pass, which it was not a forward pass. It was in fact a lateral, a
Which, by the
fumble.
way, yeah, let's make that clear.
How
The
like
play
Yeah,
itself
are we
was correct.
rewarding a mistake because it happened that way?
well, what
That's not how.
you're
No,
not
we're not
rewarding
rewarding.
a
That's just the right
mistake. You're
call.
rewarding an
That's just the
officiating
right call.
mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're correcting an officiating mistake, and I feel that's why though we have also seen on some it's much more rare, but on occasion where a player does return the ball on what was ruled an incomplete pass or whatever, and they return it all the way back to score and they finish the play. We have seen it happen before that they do actually reverse it and give them a touchdown, or at least give them the recovered fumble and spot the ball at the recovery site. In this case, on a 2-point play, he is recovering the ball in the end zone. And so even if there was like a review on a scoring play, which there usually is, right? Even if it's a very standard, obviously he's in the end zone or whatever. If you see on the immediate play, while the whistle is being blown, he recovers the ball in the end zone. To me, based on that precedent that we've seen, because there's precedent both ways. We can't pretend that there's only precedent one way here. There's definitely precedent both ways. If he is immediately recovering the football right at that spot, that is in the end zone. That's a 2-point conversion. So I don't see an issue either way with how they ruled it. If they ruled it like the whistle was blown, the play's dead, too bad. I understand that, and that's fine. I also understand and think that what they did with that 2-point play is also fine based on what I just said. What do you guys think about that?
I also just have an issue with this because in game-winning situations where it's like 4th down or like it's less than 2 minutes, stuff like that, nobody can recover a fumble and advance it other than the person who fumbled the ball. So why is it different for a backwards lateral on a 2-point conversion in overtime?
See, I just don't care about that one because that's not
I
expressed in the
personally
rules.
do.
Okay,
Why are
that's
you
fine.
rewarded
Well,
for a mistake
that's
though?
that
Because that
now you're
play
making a
should not
philosophical
get you a
argument though.
2-point. That play should not get you 2 points. Incomplete pass that is blown up in the backfield should not get you 2 points. I do not care. You
There,
shouldn't have to be like, okay, well, it went backwards, and after they blew the whistle, he picked it up, and then this and that. Then it's a 2-point conversion. Go fuck yourself, dude.
okay, so
Honestly, if
now
you have to review it and go through that much logic, go fuck yourself.
Now, what you're talking about, though, is a philosophical argument on it, as opposed to what you were using before, which
Yeah.
was arguing based on referee precedent or rules precedent. Now you're philosophically saying it's not fair that a 2-point conversion is ruled differently than a 4th down or inside the 2-minute play. And you can
Well,
have
I'm
that
just saying I'm not
argument.
going to play devil's advocate and go out of my way to benefit that in the first place. I already think it's wrong that they
I
overturn the call,
just
but I think the motivation to overturn the call is also fucking stupid.
I just don't think it's about benefiting. I think it's just simply the right call.
It's not the right call.
Well,
It
yeah,
is
it
not the right
is.
call. No, it is not.
So there is no rule saying that the ball cannot be advanced by the fumbling player on a 2-point conversion. There is
No,
no
but there
rule that
is a
says
rule
that.
that says the ball cannot move after the play is blown dead. That
So
is a fucking
yes,
rule.
yes, the ball didn't move though. He picked the ball up where it landed
You
and
can't
where it was
change
spotted.
possession after the play is blown
So
dead. How does that make any
the
sense?
play, there has been precedent where that has existed. There has been possession change. That's happened before. Don't pretend that the only precedent has been. We have seen incomplete passes be ruled fumbles and recovered by the opponent team after a whistle's been played dead before. That's happened many times.
It's very common, actually.
There is precedent both ways, which is
Anthony,
why I
the reason
say
why you are defending this so fucking hard is because you hate the Rams that much. That is
no,
100% why you care
absolutely
this
not.
much. That is 100%.
I just told you I don't care either way how this was ruled. I can see the arguments for both. You're telling me that philosophically, because you think a 2-point conversion play should be ruled the same way as 4th down, which it isn't per the rule, that it shouldn't count. I don't think
No,
I'm the
it
one
should be
biased
ruled
here.
the same play. It's not only a 4th down, it's just any down under 2 minutes.
Yes, but obviously what everyone's talking
Well,
about
why is it
is a
not that way
4th
in
down.
overtime?
That it
You
wasn't in
can't
overtime. That
you
play
cannot
wasn't in
challenge plays. It
overtime.
is
That play wasn't in overtime.
It was not overtime.
That was in the
okay,
4th
but it was in
quarter.
the last 2 minutes. It's in the last 2 minutes.
That was that touchdown in the
No,
last
it
2
was.
minutes?
It was. I think
Oh,
it was
no,
like
that was
4
the first
minutes. It
2-point
was. It
conversion.
was.
Okay, never
No,
mind. My
no.
logic is flawed. I thought it was the second 2-point conversion. Fuck.
My
Okay.
logic is flawed.
If it was the second 2-point conversion, though, I would have sound logic. Because the second one was in 2 minutes.
That shit just fucked me up.
I still would disagree because the clock on a point after attempt or on a 2-point conversion does not run, even when it's inside 2 minutes. It doesn't run ever.
No, but you
Like that
can't
is
challenge it inside 2 minutes, whereas you can challenge it outside of 2 minutes.
okay,
So if it's
and maybe
like,
that
where
can
do
be
the 2-minute
something.
rules apply and where do they not apply? Because
Oh,
if they're applying on 2-point conversions for some plays, why are they not for all of them?
and that's a fair criticism. That's 100% a fair criticism. But again, that's not what we're talking about either here, right? And at the end of the
We've
day,
already determined this is flawed logic.
and let's let's put it this way. Really, at the core of it, it is an NFL issue with their lack of clarity on rules. Especially when you have conflicting precedents where you have had it to where the player can't advance the ball, and you have had it to where, well, yeah, actually, possession can change after the whistle's blown because it's happened before. So, really, it's the NFL's inconsistency when it comes to these plays. And I get the grievances of some Rams fans saying that, wow, all of a sudden, very convenient that it happens at this moment in time, right? Why not happen at X, Y, Z and moment, right? Why this moment in
Reviews
time?
should also have to be broadcasted. I think that should be a thing where you should have the audio of the review going on, what they are saying, that should be broadcasted. Because that eliminates any suspicion of bias.
I mean, I guess, but
Honestly, that's a cool idea.
I don't mind the idea
The
either.
college
But
does it.
I,
Big
I
Ten broadcasters and Big 12 broadcasters provide all audio and visuals for what the refs are looking at.
I don't mind that idea
And it
either, but the NFL probably will never do it because they need the ad money. Well, they don't need it, but they
well,
want it.
also it allows them to rig things.
They don't rig games. Holy shit, man. They don't rig games. My goodness. There is obvious referee bias, but they're not rigging games.
I don't
God.
know, man. 0 flags against the Lions. That touchdown against the Lions being overturned on the whim on the very last second illegal shift that was called after the play. I don't know, man.
Again,
That
ref
seems
bias. I will not argue that. Rigging. I mean, you have to, whenever some kind of conspiracy like that is brought up, you have to realize the sheer amount of people that would have to not leak it or not explain it. And I feel like there's been so much evidence of such a thing existing where, like, if the NFL were that sloppy about it, it would have already been confirmed. 100%. Like, just think about it that way for a minute.
Anthony, this
And
same year we have seen a UFC case, an NBA case, and an MLB case where all three have seen people get arrested for rigging games.
so, were those the commissioners or were those high up officials within the leagues? No, they weren't. Maybe
fair.
the UFC one. I don't know much
That's a
about the
good counter.
UFC one, but the NBA and NFL one's definitely not. Or
The UFC
MLB.
one was both coaches and athletes.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, exactly. Individual people. And I don't doubt that that occurs all the time, of course, especially in this era, which is why I'm against sports betting now after being pro it for a while.
100%. Me as well.
Anyway, let me talk about the last couple games here. The Eagles take care of business against the Commanders, winning that division, basically confirming their spot in the 3 seed.
Speaking of MMA,
yeah,
right? No, that just the fucking fight in that game.
Oh, I didn't even watch the fight. What
I didn't
happened?
either.
Biggest highlight? No, just biggest highlight of the game. It just fucking squabbled.
Yeah, I mean, they have a beef dating back to last season, of course, in the NFC Championship game and division rival. It's it's going to be chippy. The Commanders, the season's not gone the way they want, and so they're pretty upset.
Well, that's also something that people forgot about. But the fucking constant hard counts when you're up 14, just fucking snap the ball, you asshole.
Yeah.
How many fucking flags do you need to have thrown against you on your fucking tush push play?
Yeah, it was annoying. It was annoying, well, for sure. And
it was classless. I would call it classless, 100%.
Okay. Then we also had a thriller on Saturday night between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. The Bears basically controlling their destiny for the 1 seed as well. Well, not necessarily. They need the Seahawks and Niners to both lose. Well, if the Bears beat the Niners, and I think they do actually, but that was a huge win for them. Huge come from behind victory. Desperately needed that. An absolutely beautiful throw by Caleb Williams to clinch it. One of the best throws of the year, frankly, by anybody.
Oh yeah, that needs to be in the top 10 for the NFL 100 because there hasn't been that many great throws.
The Vikings lose 9 once again in this game, but they still managed to pull it off because the Giants are actually putrid. And Jackson Dart is really, really bad right now. He seems completely incapable of reading a defense and throwing a football accurately. So that's pretty alarming. Crazy how this is such a weird timeline. for Brian Daboll to have needed to be fired years ago, to drafting Jackson Dart, the guy that he wants, to molding Jackson Dart and having Jackson Dart play well, to Brian
To
Daboll
him
getting
being
fired
fired,
for Jackson Dart
and
playing
now
well,
Dart is
and
not
now
playing
it's
well.
crazy, right? Like I can't be like this is it's weird. They fired Daboll, which is good, but they fired him at the absolute worst possible time to fire him. It's hilarious. It's comical. It really is. Uh, the Panthers beat the Buccaneers, which is huge for them, but they still need to win against them in Week 18 at the very least to win that division. Or, funny enough, I said a few weeks ago that Week 17 was going to be pointless for both of these teams because I really thought the Panthers would win against the Saints 2 weeks ago, and they didn't. They got swept by the Saints this year. But it ends up week 17 is meaningful. If the Dolphins beat the Bucks and the Panthers beat the Seahawks, the Panthers win the division outright without the final game. So, yeah, that'll be pretty cool. And then the Falcons take care of business against the Cardinals. Just two bad teams, but, one team sucks less, I guess.
The Cardinals are just really stinky right now. Jonathan
Oh,
Gannon
yeah.
is doing
Oh,
nothing to
yeah.
secure his job.
He's done. Okay.
No fire in his gut?
No, the fire's gone.
Oh, there'll be a lot of firing going on in that gut.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point. The Walter Nolan injury is really unfortunate. I'll say that.
Yeah, but he was getting canned regardless. Also better that he doesn't ruin the development.
I suppose, but he was playing
Because
really
he failed
well.
to develop Darius
Even
Robinson.
so.
Huh?
He was playing really well, even so. But
That's fair.
non-contact leg injury is just brutal. Anyway, here we go. We've got our pick'ems to finish the show here. Rapid fire. Thursday, Christmas football. We've got the Denver Broncos on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs, and Oladokun is the starting quarterback for the Chiefs this week. Dude, can they pull it off?
I don't think so.
Are you sure you don't want to call Tom Brady?
I know when the Broncos
Are you
are.
sure
Not
you
much
don't
to
want
think
to
about.
see if good old Big Ben can come out of retirement and play
Alex
for
Smith,
you?
man. Alex Smith, former Chief Alex Smith. Let's do it. Yes.
Dude, that
Nick
would be an
Foles.
insane story. That would get me to... Dude, I'm not going to lie. If Alex Smith came out of retirement, I would cheer for the Chiefs. That would move me. I'm not going to lie.
That would be
But
something.
no, we're going to be riding with the Broncos here.
Yeah, Broncos country.
It's a must-win game for them because of seeding, and they're going to be playing with motivation, and that's enough for them to win by 20. So
Yeah,
as
and
long as
no,
they care about this game, they'll win.
yeah, and no better opponent to face right now than the Chiefs, that are very, very low on their luck and on everything right now, and
Definitely just mentally out of it. This is the most given up team out of all of the league. This is the most someone pissed in our Cheerios and we didn't come to play after.
The other Christmas games, the Dallas Cowboys on the road against the Washington Commanders. Josh Johnson will be the starter, another third string quarterback in this game versus Dak Prescott. What do we got, guys?
Cowboys should win this game pretty handily. I mean,
They should.
their defense is really bad, but that offense is so much better than anything the Commanders have going on. There's no reason that the Commanders should be able to outscore the Cowboys in this game.
I agree. Totally.
Yeah, I think you might have a stronger argument if Mariota was in here, but it's going to be Josh Johnson, and that's just not going to look very pretty. So
if you
give
have
me the Cowboys.
Mariota in here, I'm actually saying I would heavily consider the Commanders just because we've seen the Cowboys struggle with mobile quarterbacks this year.
Sure thing. Next up, the Detroit Lions on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. An absolute must-win for the Lions. If they lose this, they have absolutely no shot. If they win this, they probably have no shot anyway, but they have to win the game. What do you guys got?
The Lions should win this game. Their playoffs hopes not being eliminated is probably going to motivate them enough to go and bully the fuck out of this shitty-ass Vikings team. But also, it's just the Vikings are really, really bad.
Yeah, really bad. I think it'll be a little bit lower scoring than maybe people would expect with the Lions playing in this game because one, it's a divisional opponent, and two, the Vikings defense is still pretty good. But maybe the Lions kind of unleash it as their final, last hoorah before the season ends for them. So that would be a
Gotta
fun
go
sight to
Lions
see
here, though.
too. And I know a lot of fantasy owners that really need Jameer Gibbs in this championship. So maybe that happens.
True.
Next up, we have 5 Saturday games, it looks like. Our first one being the Houston Texans on the road against the LA Chargers. A really important game as far
Huge
as
playoff
seeding is
implications
concerned.
here.
Yeah. What do we got?
I got the Texans. This team's on fire. Yeah, they lost to the Raiders. They're probably
Good
prepping
game.
for this game. I have full faith in them to go in there and shut down the Chargers' run game, which has been honestly pretty futile because of how bad the offense is, or the offensive line is. I mean, it's not anything wrong with Amarion Hampton. Amarion Hampton has been really electric this year, but the O line has been brutal. So I have a lot of sacks for the Texans in this game.
Yeah.
I want to go Chargers just on just on a feeling thing. There's no real reason for me to be going Chargers, but I maybe it's the Texans offense that doesn't really convince me. So, yep, going Chargers
Yeah, but is the Chargers offense really convincing you?
better than Houston's.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
would.
but is the Chargers defense even in the Houston's defense realm?
Uh,
Houston's defense is definitely better, but the Chargers defense is actually a really underrated unit. They played very well
Well,
this
it's a
year,
very good
and it's
unit,
very
but
well
like
coached.
when you have a unit as good as the Texans is, it's a bit different than just having a top 10 unit.
I get you, and that's part of the reason why I'm very tightly leaning the Texans in this one. I think it's a true toss-up game because I can see it where the Chargers do make an extra clutch play, but we also
yep.
saw these two teams face each other in the last year's postseason, and that was Justin Herbert's maybe worst game as a pro. And he also had that collapse against the Jaguars a few years ago, a few years before that. So um, hoping that he can play better ball this time around. And if he does, maybe that's a reason that the Chargers end up winning. But right now, I'm slightly leaning the Texans. Next up, the Baltimore Ravens on the road against the Green Bay Packers. Again, a must win for the Ravens. They need to win and they need the Steelers to lose in order for their playoff hopes to stay alive. What do we got?
I got the Ravens winning, and this is why I don't see the Packers getting the 5 seed because they have not easy game this week. I think the Ravens are going to come in hungry and wanting to win this game. I mean, they have to win this game. So I think this is going to be a Baltimore victory.
Okay. Vitor.
Um, I've been thinking about this game for a while because the Ravens need it, the Packers need it. I kind of liked how the Packers looked without Love. It's not like they were completely out of it. Willis also got banged up a little bit, so it's a hard game, but it is in Green Bay, and it's not like the Ravens have really been shown that much. Henry not as trustworthy as he once was, maybe. Um, it's a hard game, but I'm gonna go Ravens. I think they keep in it. I think they stay in the race.
Okay. Another really tough game for me to predict. I'm going to be
I'm
leaning
assuming you're riding with the Packers.
Yeah, I'm leaning the Packers for the moment. It really depends on the status of both quarterbacks here. If Lamar Jackson doesn't play, maybe that's perhaps an upgrade for the Ravens at this point because it feels like he hasn't been 100% even when he's played, and the mobility obviously hasn't quite been there. And so maybe just a healthy Tyler Huntley is a better option right now. And then similarly, I don't know what the status of Jordan Love is, but again, is that even really an improvement right now? I think Malik Willis, when he's come in relief, has been pretty good. And it's not his fault that his team completely blew that game against the outside of the fumble, of course. That's a brutal fumble from under center. You can't fumble that ball, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's played bad by any means, and he might play himself into a nice little contract going into next season and potentially starting for another team next year. But yeah, I've got just slightly leaning the Packers here. I think that they have a little bit more momentum right now, despite the loss, of course. Yeah, yeah. I just don't have a reason to trust that the Ravens can do this.
That's fair.
I think it's fair.
Next up, the Arizona Cardinals on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'll start this one off. I've got the Bengals winning this one. An impressive victory, I suppose, against the Miami Dolphins, putting up 45 points and creating turnovers on defense once again. But it is the lowly Cardinals again this week, and it's in Cincinnati. It's going to be cold, so the Cardinals aren't going to be ready probably for that one. And it's crazy that the Bengals are probably better coached than than their opponent, but that might be the case this week. And
For the
so
first time in the year.
yeah, and so a lot of stuff is leaning the Bengals this week.
Yeah, it's a pretty chalk up Bengals pick, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If this is the Cardinals, if the Cardinals are at home, does that change anything?
No.
No.
The Bengals just won in
Nope.
Miami, so. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks on the road against the Carolina Panthers, a team that's very good on the road and a team that's very good at home. What do we got?
The team that could surprise here, right? Seattle, it feels like they won over the bigger obstacle, maybe. They had to go through and then suddenly they lose the Panthers type of thing. But I will go with Seattle. I think Darnold plays a better game than the last one he played.
Yeah, I definitely think Seattle wins this game, and I do think the inverse of what you said is going to happen. I do think that they're going to win this game, and that the Bucks will probably beat Miami.
Yeah, and in that case, it doesn't matter. It'll still go to Week 18. I was just merely highlighting that if the Panthers win and the Bucks lose, then that Week 18 game means nothing. But yeah, I think this is
could happen.
Yeah. I think that this is deceptively close here. A lot of people, way too many people, writing off the Panthers immediately here. I get it; they're a very inconsistent team. You can't make head or tails of them, and that's been the case. They beat the Rams and then lose to the Saints right after. It's very strange. But they're a hungry team, and I think that this is a game where we can see them be a little bit more aggressive, offensively speaking. And I'm still not in love with the Seahawks offensively. The comeback was very impressive, and I really commend the poise of Sam Darnold after throwing a couple interceptions to stay strong in that pocket and still, deliver some real dimes, especially in overtime there. So that was really impressive, and I'm still going to be leaning the Seahawks for that reason. I think they just have a little bit more firepower at the moment, but I would not be surprised at all by a Panthers upset.
I agree, and I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it.
All right. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts, again, need to win this game, and they need the Texans to lose their game in order to stay alive in the playoffs. What do we got?
Again, neither of those things are going to happen. The Jags are going to go in there and take care of business as long as they aren't super cursed.
Yeah, that's true. One of those S tier teams likely to be super cursed this week. So who's it going to be? We'll find out. But yeah, I agree. I think maybe the Shanahan Brock Purdy 49ers offense spelled some things that you can do to expose this Colts defense, which isn't a bad unit by any means. They're dealing with some injuries, but they looked absolutely dreadful on Monday Night Football. And so I think the Jaguars on the second time around will have a nice recipe and probably coast to a victory here.
I'm right behind you there.
Okay.
Very fan of them. Yep.
Next up, the New England Patriots on the road against the New York Jets. And believe it or not, the Jets cannot make the playoffs, even with a win. What do you guys got?
Yeah.
Shocker. I don't have the Jets beating the projectable 1 seed in the AFC.
Snap.
Rats.
How lame.
Sorry,
how lame.
guys.
Is it Brady Cook again?
It doesn't matter.
I think if Tyrod Taylor's in there, they might put up like 17 or something, but the Patriots are going to win by multiple scores no matter what.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
if there's anything we've learned about the Patriots this season, it's that they beat down on bad teams big time.
Drake May loves to stat pad.
Beat down bad teams big time. That's their motto there. Next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns, believe it or not, as well, do not have anything to play for here. Although with the Steelers win, they will clinch the AFC North and solidify their spot with the 4th seed in the AFC playoff picture. What do we got?
Yeah,
I got the Browns upsetting. Shadur's playing motivated.
no way, I just heard that.
I can't believe Jacob is picking Shadur Sanders to be outduel Aaron Rodgers, two of his least favorite
I really
quarterbacks of
just
all
don't want the
time.
Steelers to be in the playoffs. I really want the Ravens to make playoffs.
Yeah, I'd rather the Ravens make it too, but you're asking for a lot to happen there.
I
Yeah.
know. I know.
No,
I'm
I'm gonna
asking
go.
for
I'm
a
gonna go with the
lot.
Browns just for one reason. This is the
Yes.
game where Myles Garrett gets a record.
Oh,
It is the game where Miles Garrett gets the record.
it is. It is going to be the game. The script writers made it so because if he gets it next week, it'll be an invalid record. It'll be an asterisk record.
True. Plus, it's funnier this week because it's against the team where he hit someone upside the head with a helmet.
Yeah, yeah. And what if Mason Rudolph starts? It's possible.
He's a Steeler again? I thought he was off the Steelers.
Yeah, he's the Steelers' backup. He already played for them this year.
Oh, shit. Bro. Dude, there's
Uh,
been too many backups. It's hard to keep track. That's 64 quarterbacks I got to keep track of, dude.
I've got the Steelers in this one. They're the better team. They should win. Next up. Oh, wait,
win.
we missed a Saturday game.
Oh, the
Oh,
Tank
the-
Bowl.
The Giants and the Raiders. Who was gonna win this game against their will?
I think the Raiders win.
The Giants will begrudgingly pull this out.
I'm with Vitor. I think the Raiders win this one.
Yep.
Jackson Dart literally is throwing to nobody, and he doesn't know how to throw to anybody because he's already got CTE.
But Brock Bowers is literally being thrown to by nobody.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't write him off so quick. He might not write back.
Oh, true, true.
Next up, the New
Weak
Orleans
ball
Saints
knowledge.
on the road against the Tennessee Titans. Both teams coming off of wins, right? Yeah,
I need the
impressive
Saints
wins.
to win this one. Actually, let's be real. I want the Saints to lose this one, but if the Saints win this one, I can call back to a pin chat in the Discord where I told Mallard that we will be dog shit, but we will beat the Titans.
Yeah, I feel like that was one of the games going into the season that we're like, all right, the Saints are going to be really bad, but this is the one that they'll win. That said, I am
Right.
taking the Titans now. After all that song and dance all this season, I'm taking the Titans here. They've actually
Hey,
been
man, I
playing.
hope you're right.
They've actually been pretty impressive over the last few weeks, and I think that even though you don't want to play yourself out of a top 5 pick, it's also a good thing that they're like starting to show some signs and starting to show, some players have talent on this roster. And this is why tanking doesn't really exist in the NFL, because at the end of the season, when the bad teams are eliminated from the playoffs, there are still a lot of players that are playing for bonuses and playing for contracts with other teams, playing for their jobs, literally. And why would they just not try in the final few weeks when a good team can be having scouts checking the tape of these games and looking for guys that stand out on these weaker teams that they're not able to poach? Tanking doesn't exist in the NFL for that reason.
Mm-hmm. No player wants to play bad. It is only a organizational thing that can be instilled. And that's why when tanking happens, it has to be all the way. You have to have a bad roster.
It's really only a fan thing. It's not even an organizational thing. Even the organization wants to see the guys play hard because they need to know who to give the money to.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road against the Miami Dolphins. Battle of the Floridians here. Dolphins eliminated. The Buccaneers need to win. If they lose, then it's in the Panthers' hands for sure. What do we got here?
Yeah, the Bucks are definitely.
We've never been. No. This is a game where we have some pride.
Baker Mayfield would rather die than lose to a Texas quarterback.
This is the game.
Think that he will come in super motivated for that reason.
This is the game where we create
I'm not even
some.
kidding you. I genuinely think that he will be more motivated because of Quinn Ewers that he's playing against.
Well, then maybe he has to think that the every QB is playing against is Quinn Ewers, huh?
Well, I think really
That'd
he
be
just
smart.
he needs to make sure that Mike Evans doesn't run away from the football as soon as he throws it. He'll probably be okay if that happens.
Yeah,
I've
Mike
got the
Evans.
Buccaneers.
What the fuck was that, dude?
The
And the amount
broadcast,
of people blaming Baker Mayfield are so stupid. They're
the
so
Baker
dumb.
Mayfield blame, and then the broadcast trying to say like Baker's in scramble drill, so Evans is trying to get open field. No, Baker Mayfield is stepping up in the pocket and throwing the ball, and Evans just turns
Man,
around
Tom
for
Brady
no
was a
reason.
really good scrambler. Man, the way that Tom Brady could scramble up in the pocket, oh my god.
It's crazy. Yeah, the analysis of that one play is pretty. It's telling on who knows ball or not, and Coast knows ball. Uh, Next up,
Yeah.
the America's Game of the Week: the Philadelphia Eagles on the road against the Buffalo Bills. Potentially hotly contested game. Maybe the Eagles can figure something out against a bad defense once again. But maybe the Bills can. They seem to play really great against contending teams. So can they continue that trend?
Yeah, I have a feeling the Bills are going to take care of business here.
I
It'd
think
be
so.
really funny to have the Bills just out tush push the Eagles, honestly.
Well, they don't even have to out tush push them because their quarterback can actually scramble and run for a lot of yards.
Oh, that's
I
true.
I will never be such an Eagles fan though in my life.
Yeah. What's the weather like at Buffalo this Sunday? That's a curious
Probably
sight.
snowing.
They probably
Buffalo
have some guys
weather.
Are they
shoveling.
enlisting their fan help again?
43 degrees
Ooh,
and cloudy.
nice.
That's probably right now. No, that's Sunday. Maybe. We'll see. Should be a fun one, but I've got the Bills. That's
Yeah,
it.
Bills should take care of business in the game.
That's my analysis. Should be fun. I've got the Bills. Next up, Sunday Night Football. The Chicago Bears against the San Francisco 49ers. Heavy seeding
Game of the year
implications.
potential.
Yeah, and potentially
Game of the year
yeah.
potential.
What do you guys got?
I got Trey Lance breaking his leg.
I got the Niners, man. I think in a game where the stakes are so high, playing at home, Bears playing well but still maturing. Win with the Niners.
Yeah, give me the Niners, mostly because of the home team. These are the two best teams in the NFC, in my opinion, and that's how I'm going to pick it, is just who's home.
I think it's a really tight race. I'm at both. I'm at the same time concerned, but also like confident in the 49ers in this game because of what they showed me on Monday Night Football. The pass defense is very big concern, but luckily the Bears are more of a rushing offense. And so if they can stop the run at a high level, I think they can force Caleb into some bad looks in the pass game. And that can be a really important factor in creating turnovers potentially, or just getting the ball back really quickly. Something that we saw against the Packers last week is that the Bears through the first three quarters basically went 3 and out every time almost. And they also refused to take the points when they could have taken points. So hopefully that trend kind of continues and the 49ers aren't a choking team like the Packers kind of are. So that probably wouldn't happen, or the end of the game wouldn't happen rather. And then similarly, I feel like the Colts defense is pretty good, and I feel like the Bears defense is pretty good, and Brock Purdy and the rushing attack as well were both incredibly efficient on Monday Night Football, and so this can be a similar sight for the offense as well. At the end of the day, I think the 49ers offense can just outscore anybody at this moment in time, and until I see otherwise, that's going to be the truth. So I'm taking the Niners, and out of obligation. Can't forget
totally
about that.
fair.
Out of obligation, yeah, of course.
All right, last but
The
not
Rams
least,
also, the mini
maybe
bye, are
least.
going to smoke the Falcons.
Yeah, Monday Night Football, Rams on the road against the Atlanta
Yeah.
Falcons.
Yeah.
Hold on.
How on earth did the Bills lose to the Falcons? How did that happen?
How did the Bills lose to the Dolphins?
That also well, that's a division rival, so it makes a little more sense.
Any given
With division
Sunday,
rivals,
maybe.
anything can happen.
Although it hasn't been much any given Sunday. The first half of the season, it was more any given Sunday than the second half. 100%. I think we can all agree.
Oh, 100%.
Mhm.
The second, like
Mhm.
post trade deadline, it's been a lot more of the better team, like the clear better team has won like 98% of the time, I want to say. Now there might be a debate on what the clear better team is,
But it's still the
but-
NFL, right?
Yeah, it's still the NFL, and
Yep.
you know
yep.
that, and especially in the playoff picture, where you know, you guys both also said like the precedent in the regular season doesn't really matter when you get to the playoffs, and you know, maybe so that way maybe a team like the Panthers does pull off an upset against the 5-seed, or maybe the Steelers do manage to win multiple playoff games. Like, we just really never know because everything gets thrown out the window at that point, you know. But it should be a really fun season, and it should be a fun week at football and a fun holiday. I hope that everyone at home has a really Merry Christmas and wonderful holiday. And of course, if you're not with us next week, then a Happy New Year as well. It's been a really fun football season, and yeah, just happy holidays. Wishing you all
Yeah.
well and a safe holiday. And you, my boys as
Awesome.
well. You, my
Goated.
co-hosts.
Yep. Goated. Thank you for the year, boys.
Uh-oh.
Thank you very
And
much.
fans. And fans.
Yeah, and fans.
If you're looking at my beautiful avatar, I'm back next week. Not for the distraught of the fans and you guys, but yeah.
Hey, we missed the hair, man.
It's coming. It's coming. I asked my girlfriend if I should trim it. She was like, "Yeah, maybe it's time." So we'll see. We'll see.
All
You
right.
can't. It's too long. It's
No,
too
just a trim.
beautiful.
Just a little trim.
Yeah, just a trim.
Just a little trimmy trim.
Yeah.
There we have it. Merry Christmas, and thank you all for watching.
Merry Christmas. Yep. Goated.
Thank you, everybody.